Bienvenidos, bienvenidos a Skill Therapy. Bienvenidos, damas y caballeros. I don't know why she's late every fucking time. Mic work good. Mic work good.
What's up, man?
You hear me?
I can hear you. You can hear me?
I can hear you. welcome back on Thursday to another episode of Hostile Therapy with your host, Big Red. Back for another episode is LT Lord Trent. He's getting his colors and his signs together in the background. He's going to be doing hand signals for the rest of the show, communicate for the people who can't quite, hear everything what we want to say. He's been licensed for it in the last 5 years. Went to school and college for sign language for 5 years at Harvard.
All right. That's what's up.
This is not true, so don't believe it.
Oh, what? I knew something was funny. No, you didn't. What was that? Do that sign again.
Don't quote me on that.
What? That looked like something else.
It do.
Mm-hmm.
Like something that we can't show up on the show without getting
Some true communication.
All right. Come back with this next episode also too. Prezi from Listen Up, Listen In podcast. Wait, Sparky is in the background somewhere, probably putting up a 49ers gear.
True.
They ain't worth nothing though. Niners ain't worth nothing. We don't care about them. It's all about Dallas over here.
Oh, Dallas, huh?
Yeah. You know, y'all. I'm sure you're probably a Giants fan.
Really, I'm everybody fan.
Everybody fan. That ain't a
No, I mean, I want everybody to win.
What in the world? Come on, that is such a utopian society type answer.
It don't matter to me as long as everybody have a good time.
No one has a good time though, because you can't have a good time and be a loser.
Oh well, don't think of yourself as a loser. Just try again.
Yeah, that's what we do every year because we keep losing every year too.
Oh damn! So y'all the losers.
Yeah. So I have a bad time every year. So
wait. Cowboys?
Yeah.
Oh, child, please. I could beat the Cowboys.
You could. Wow, really? I thought we were talking about how fun it was, and then here you go take the joy of it.
Changed my mind.
Try to change my perspective on how to look at sport.
Cowboys. What? Oh, please. Yes, I'm a Giants fan now. I'm a Giants fan.
Didn't we whoop y'all ass earlier this year? I could look up the score and then post.
I don't remember that.
You don't remember that?
No.
I think we did. I think
we probably gave it to y'all because we felt so bad for y'all. Y'all will never win.
If that's the case, then y'all gave it to us for the past probably 4 or 5 years because we have been whooping y'all behind thoroughly for the last few years.
Damn, I ain't been keeping up with the stats. Let me shut up.
There ain't nothing to keep up with. L. That's all.
That's all right. All right. So what's a good team out? What's the best team out right now?
That's tough to say. I mean, Dallas is amongst.
Oh, like we can't hear Lord Trent. He lip syncing like it's a Chinese movie.
Oh shit! I've been muted the whole time. I've been talking.
Yes.
Shit. I dropped so many gems.
You was looking at it like a Chinese movie over there. I was like,
damn.
Kill my master.
Damn, I was about to say in post, put that on there because the 3rd season of Wu-Tang Clan is coming back, and I love that.
Oh shoot!
Thank you, Shadow Master. You will say.
So what were you saying? What did we miss?
Oh, confirming everything Big Red said was true and a lie. I do know American Sign Language, and I also do not.
Oh, okay.
See,
you know what I'm saying? I mean, any sign you make with your hands, I feel like, and I'm American, so it's American Sign Language by default.
Sign language had to come from somewhere.
Yeah.
Who's to say yours is wrong?
I mean, and if I'm in a hood, like whatever hood this comes from, they know what I'm saying. Like,
hey,
it's definitely American.
All right.
But most of the time, when you put some of those sign languages in the wrong neighborhood, you can get shot.
Oh yeah, that's why I'm doing it from this. I'm an internet person right now.
That's to be more careful.
Yeah, internet person.
I'm a person. I literally don't. I exist on a phone screen right now. To most, like if you're watching this, I exist on your phone. I'm not a real person. I'm like a character.
Like that guy we were talking about, like what, a month or so ago, the rapper.
Oh yeah, I'm pretty much. I'm effing Mecca.
Yeah, that guy.
Except I can say the N-word, nigger.
Right. Don't get too upset about that because that might not last long too, depending on who you are. Yeah. No. I meant like Maybe if you're Kanye West, you can't say it anymore.
You can, just not, just don't put the J word in front of it.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, that's true. And we'll speak on him a little later on the show.
Of course you will.
But first, we're gonna go into Mr. Charleston White, who has been quite an internet sensation this year. If I want to say who's been the most popular person, kind of like how Kevin Samuels hit the internet last couple years before he passed away. This year, I would have to say the most popular person, to me anyway, would be Charleston White. And usually because he says a lot of inflammatory remarks about whatever subject matter he's talking about. And Charleston White used to be a former gang member. He was in prison when he was 14. I think he was involved, I believe, in a robbery that ended up turning into a murder. He didn't murder the person, but with him being in proximity of the murder, he also got charged with it as well. And but he got out when he was 21, thanks to some officers that spoke on his behalf. So he was able to get out pretty early, and then he promised that he would work in the community and try to stop other youth from making the same mistake he did. Mm. The problem is some people may not look at a problem. Sometimes it ain't what you say, it's how you say it. Mm-hmm. The thing with him is he really is going after the hip hop culture at the present moment. I say at the present moment, where it seems that violence, gang culture, no snitching, and all that stuff is prevalent. And he's saying that's a bunch of cockamamie, and that stuff needs to be cut out. And he's calling out rappers along the way. The problem with what he's doing is he's talking about some rappers that have gotten killed, or just passed away. DMX being one of them.
Oh no.
Yeah, he talked about DMX and was saying like he doesn't respect those rappers. He's glad some of those rappers are dead. And he's saying it in the mindset is that they weren't worth anything to society, but bad images. And he said he didn't respect DMX. He respected Earl Simmons. Part of his point, he made a video. I don't think I got that video in the back, but part of his point with that video was he was saying, look at what DMX went through. He became a superstar. People worshiped him, and he got on crack bad or worse, got through his troubles, went to jail back and forth, did not amass a lot of money during the duration of his career, and died broke. He died with his net worth in the negative. And people laughed at him pretty much, when he went through his downfall. Hold on, let me put Sparky in right quick. But people laughed at DMX when he was going through his downfall, when his drug problems were coming at his worst. And then he had, I think he had a stroke or he had a heart attack. And that was brought on by maybe some bad crack or bad drugs. I'm not sure which one it was, but it was drugs. They put him in that situation. But he died in his 50s, early life, died broke pretty much. And people were only like, well, he kept it real though. But what good is that if he died early? And he wasn't able to live comfortably from all the hard work he put into his career because he was trying to keep it real. And so, but he uses DMX and talks about these rappers' lifestyle they're living ain't shit. And they're living this life and telling people, young people, hey, you can do this too, or you should follow me, or you should worship me, and you can get this type of lifestyle, but that lifestyle doesn't always end good. So I'm going to play a couple of videos so you can kind of get a better understanding of where he's coming from. Because the dude's beefing with everybody. He also beefed with T.I.'s son recently too. Let me see if I can find that video. He was talking mad shit about him too, but let me see if I can find a video of what he said. Get a better understanding what this dude's about. Cause there's plenty of videos of him up here.
I did see him talking about Lil Tiny. I'm not calling him T.I., so I'm about to start calling him Tiny Son, because that's who he looked like the most.
Yeah,
That
he
boy,
does.
that boy looked exactly like his mama and nobody else but his mama.
Yeah, you're right about that. Let's see. Let me try this video.
Hey, Sparky T.
What's up, Spark?
Hey, how you doing today?
They not real.
Right.
They not. It's internet beef. When them phones go in and it say upload and share, the niggas that's playing like they mad at me, they laughing too. The people on the internet just don't know it. All this shit is fake, homie. You see ain't no nigga, all this shit is fake, homie. All of this beef is a mirage. Even the rap beef, all that shit is a mirage. Because the nigga with the microphone that's rapping, he ain't killing. Very few are dying. It's more around them dying before we get to the one with the microphone dying. Even that's fake. It's all orchestrated.
So what do you think when...
Hear me out.
Okay.
It's all orchestrated for content and entertainment because nobody's watching television. We all looking at our phone. This is the new reality TV right before they bring back public execution. This is us progressing as a society, as humans. We like the gladiators now. This motherfucker is the arena. We in the arena, and we gotta kill this wildebeest. And the crowd is cheering for one of us, the wildebeest, to get us. But if we kill the wildebeest, they gonna cheer for us. You gotta figure out how to win the people, while all of us fight, gladiating on this motherfucker. That's what we doing, huh? Ain't none of us building. You can't find 5 YouTubers that done got together, nigga, and start a scholarship program. You can't find 5 rappers that done got together, nigga, and they building homes together. So none of us is working, all of us is at odds, opposing, in opposition, fighting each other. This the new gladiator. That's the Coliseum. Every day it's a new motherfucker coming out there. When they lift that thing up, god damn, here come a tiger. Oh shit, they got a panther coming over here. God damn it, a buck. Every day it's a new motherfucker coming at you. So nah, homie, all this shit is fake, homie. Because at the end of the day, when we cut these phones off, I don't think about half these niggas I done argued with. I'll think about them if I see them.
This is where someone say you take it.
So all this shit is fake. Made up beef, homie, for content and checks.
Someone say you take it too far. Like you had a clip that went viral where you're like, death to all gang members.
Death to all gang members. Don't gangbangers kill? Don't gangbangers wake up every day looking to kill an op? So why shouldn't they die? Why shouldn't we wish death on the people that kill people?
So do you think the remedy is for them to die?
Yes. I think most people have to die off in order for things to change. I think most people have to die off. They have to go to jail, because
do you believe that was the case with you because you went to jail?
Yeah, I had to go. Yeah, I had to go.
Really?
And it saved my life. Every nigga I know went to jail. It saved their life.
Wow.
Every nigga I know went to jail. It done them some good. And had they not went to jail, they probably would have got killed early on in life, or they would have done something at some point in their life where they would have assured that they got a life sentence. So it's best that he go to jail for 20 years so he can come home and live good from 40 to 60. It's best that he go to jail at 15 and come home at 25 so he can get the brain development, he can get the treatment, he can get the medical attention that he needs. Most niggas don't even know they got medical problems till they go to jail. Most niggas don't know they got an abscessed tooth, a cavity, until they go to jail. Most niggas don't even know how to read till they go to jail. Most niggas don't even know how to respect their neighbor until they go to jail, and their neighbor will kill them if they fought in the room with them. if they make, you see what I'm saying? Most niggas come home with the kind of respect and things that they should have got from their home or they big homies down in prison, and they come home better men.
But that's where some people will look at it and say, well, if you're gonna suggest or even encourage that young black men who might be misguided or lacking father figures should be incarcerated, they'll label you a term like Uncle Ruckus.
Well, tell that to their mothers who sleep better at night. Tell that to the mothers who sleep better at night when she finally get the call and they say, Mom, I'm in jail. And she finally can say, thank you, Lord. Now she ain't gonna tell him that. She can finally say, I can finally sleep right now. Now I don't have to worry about it in the middle of the night when the phone ring or they call her and say my baby dead. Tell that to that mother. Tell that to the mother when she goes see him, because now he's writing letters home and saying, Mom, I'm sorry. Tell that to the kids who now get to go see daddy, because when daddy in the street, they don't get to see him that much. But when he in jail, they get to go see him every other weekend. Tell that to the woman who now gets a phone call every day from the nigga who been ignoring her calls. Now in jail, he talking like a motherfucker. He saying all the right things in jail. So now, homie, I've been dealing with the criminal justice system, the correctional system for over 40 years. So I'm an expert in this field.
Wow. What people do criticize you for is that you seem to, I always say, like, even if you had a problem with someone, once they die, those problems pretty much, you gotta, just gotta give it up. It's over.
That's not true at all.
You don't believe death kind of absolves, whatever issues might be between two people.
Tell that to some people. Tell that to the creditors. Tell that to the people when you die and you still got bills. Don't they still be trying to collect? Tell that to the insurance, to the life insurance people, homie. No, homie, just because you die, what you did, what you said, who you are, that don't erase. Your actions live on forever. You got a legacy that people got a right to speak on. Your birthday, the day you're born, the day you die, there's a dash in the middle. That's what we speak on, that dash. And death don't exclude you from what you've done.
You've spoken, quite a lot about like people like, King Von, who passed away.
Yeah.
A lot of people don't like the nature of how you've turned his death into almost a celebration.
Well, tell that to the Tukaville people that's been smoking Tuka. They did Tuka like that for 11 years. I never even knew who Tuka was until last year. I never knew even who Tuka was. So you mean to tell me we can Tuka for 11, 12 years, and his mother is over in the corner pleading. She's pleading. So you mean to tell me it's okay for them to do that, but because our favorite rapper is now being mocked as he mocked a kid. Tuka was a kid, a 15-year-old kid who was killed, and no one ever came out and defended Tuka's mother. No one defended Tuka like they defended King Von. King Von was known to be a killer, a man who killed black people, a man who was accused of killing a black girl. So you mean to tell me he's celebrated, right? You got celebrities who take pictures in front of his mural. What about his victims' family? What about the people he's been accused of? Why don't y'all ever speak for them?
Don't you see why don't you see it the other way though?
I can't though, because I'm on the victim side.
Wait. Well, I'm not saying you should. I'm saying why don't you look at his death as it's unfortunate that he didn't come to realize maybe some of his mistakes.
It wasn't unfortunate. Let's look at his death. He had finally made it out of the ghetto. He had finally made it. He had just come home from beating murder cases, brother. Let's look at how serious this is. There are murder cases on his file that he beat. He gets released because the witnesses come up dead. Let's be real with this shit, homie. The witnesses came up dead. Black people. Nobody ever spoke about that. So here it is. He gets released and become this mega star rapping about his murders. What about those victims? What about their family? Watching this man who they think is a demon, the most horrible person in the world, reap the rewards for being a killer. What about those people? I'm thinking about those people. Fuck that idol. That idol is a demon, a self-proclaimed demon. Nigga, I don't ride with demons. When did black people start riding with demons? Homie, we got grandmothers who pray, mothers who say, son, bless your food before you eat it. When do we, so hear me out. So I'm looking at this and everybody is siding with King Von them. What about these victims over here who nobody's shining the light on? So these people are hurting. They don't have a voice. They don't have nobody can say, man, fuck them. But they saying fuck King Von because he been accused of killing their people. So when I get the knowledge and the information that this is a killer and these are victims, nigga, I don't give a damn about no killer who bragging about killing people.
Okay, video is a little bit longer than that, but we're gonna stop it there, and I think y'all might got the gist of that. So, as I was listening to this video, I got to thinking, whose method, or maybe neither, I'll let y'all give the answer on that. The method of Kanye West and the method, and you can put Candace Owens in there. We'll just say Kanye West. The method of Kanye West to reach Black people and try to empower us, if you want to believe that's what he's doing. The method of Charleston White, or you can say neither. Whose method do you like best? Or you can say neither. You can say Kanye, you can say Charleston, you can say neither. That's the question we're going to start off with. We're going to give everybody a couple minutes to give their initial statement, what they got to say about that, and then we'll continue on the conversation about Charleston White's efforts to change the Black community, at least from the hip hop culture since LT. I'll let you go first on this one. Give a couple minutes and tell us whose method do you like best, or neither of them. And if it's neither of them, tell us why.
Are you ready? Go!
It's going to be a very strong neither, but if you put a gun to my head, I'm easily going to go with Charleston White. And yeah, I can tell you why. Did we start the time already?
Yeah, it started.
All right, cool. So whereas I don't like his first message of overall, I have sticky notes now. I don't like his first overall message of telling me pretty much go to jail, nigga. Like that's pretty much how I felt, like what he was saying. Like, if you go to jail, you'll be a better man. If you're in a relationship, you'll call your girlfriend every day because now you miss her. Like really selling the idea of I have to go to jail in order to appreciate my life. You sound like someone that's given 20 years of your life to jail. It sounds like you've been institutionalized, and they've effectively and the fact that he said he's been working with the correctional office for a certain amount of time, I can understand that, because honestly, the reason I'll agree with him more than Kanye West is his qualms about hip hop are 100% legitimate. I can't disagree with anything he said about King Von. Like, again, this is a man who beat a murder, like our rappers beat murder charges all the time. Murder was the case that they gave me. You know what I'm saying? Like we constantly champion these negative things, these negative stereotypes that if another race accused us of being this, we would be offended. If another race said, well, you guys are always killing each other and shooting each other, we would be offended at that. But when our music says, hey, yo, I'm killing at my niggas and I'm shooting at these niggas, it's the #1 record. You know what I'm saying? We love it. We push it to the top. And he's right. We don't think about these people that were murdered. Like we I don't know King Von. I'm older than this, or I am older than this young man was. And the fact that he was able to get to such a high place in life and throw it all away because he just couldn't let that life go is ridiculous. I think Charleston White is definitely working with Republicans, or not Republicans, at least the Atlanta Correctional Facility. Because I can understand his qualms with why, like it, especially if I'm in jail for my wrongs and shit. You know what I'm saying? Like that, we should, if we want to progress, yes, we need to hold ourselves and each other accountable, and we need to stop glorifying murderers and drug dealers and shit.
Okay. Prizzy, I'll let you go next on this one. Do you agree with the methods of Kanye, Charleston White, or neither? You're on mute. Yeah.
I think
Go!
I agree with Lord Trent on this one too. Because being an officer, I can truly say, and it may sound crazy, jail has saved people, really. So Lord Trent, I'm gonna just have to disagree a little bit with that with you. I'm just speaking on my experience. I don't agree that you go to jail to get help, but just listening to some of the stories, um, in my 21 years, jail has saved a lot of people, and there are great stories behind these people. They have come out and they have done well, and then it's a revolving door for others. They go back, and sometimes they go back and their crimes are worse. So I don't know what Kanye's saying half of the time. He's all over the place. I can't keep up with Kanye. But this gentleman, no, we shouldn't idolize rappers who are saying the B word or calling a woman a hoe or saying that selling drugs is the way to go. And we know a lot of these rappers all started out that way, being drug dealers, and now they're successful. And I mean, the only person I know that's really said something really positive was Jay-Z. And he admitted, he was selling and stuff like that. But that's the only thing I believe. I agree with Charleston White. We need to stop praising these drug dealers, and these kids are seeing this like, hey, get this fast money. That's what it's all about. And I don't know. It's like a catch-22.
All right. Sparky T, we'll let you go next. Do you like the methods of Kanye, Charleston White, or neither?
Neither.
Are you ready? Go!
All right. Tell us why.
Neither. Because I think on face value, both of them have something to say, but I think it's like they both tearing us down to try to get their point across. You know what I'm saying? It's like they serving up what they're saying on a garbage can lid. Like, I'm not disagreeing with the things that they're saying or some of the things that they're saying, because I'm not with everything that nobody's saying, but I just think that the way that they're doing it, though, you doing it in such a way that it's almost like you tearing us down. And I know sometimes you got to tear down to build back up, but the build up is never there. It's always just the tear down. All you keep hearing from them is what we're not and what we're this and what we're that, and I think that there's another way that you can do it. As far as the whole going to jail thing, I think that going to jail sometimes, can make people a better person. I also think that it could make them better criminals too, or smarter criminals, or deeper criminals. The recidivism rate and stuff like that aren't great. So what we have going on in there clearly it's not it. But the part about like to ask the black mother that now she can sleep at night. Well, if you only sleeping at night because your son is in jail, like y'all got some issues on a whole nother level. Like the things that he was saying, well, ask the mother to ask the mother that sleeps at night, the woman that hears from her man every day. Well, if your man only calling you because he in jail every day, y'all got bigger issues than the, what I'm saying? Like all of those situations that people are praising the fact that you're in jail. You know what I'm saying? The relationships might be a little unbalanced and not quite right anyway, that you're praising the fact that somebody's in jail. I get the gist of what he's saying, now that he's sitting still and he's in one place, but is jail the place that you would have him to be? And according to him, the answer is yes. That I don't agree
with. Okay. I'm going to, I could say neither, but if push come to shove, I'm gonna go with Charleston White on this one.
Are you ready? Go!
The reason I'm gonna go with Charleston White, because to me, he seems to be talking about the extreme when he's talking about the kid or adult. Sometimes just talking just don't get to these kids. He's doing something where he's a mentor to a lot of these kids. He is a father figure to a lot of these kids that don't have any. And for the people who don't have any, they don't have that guy that's going to be stern with you and tell you, hey, you messing up. You're doing wrong. You need to change your actions. And your actions are going to lead to this. They don't have that. They have pretty much the mothers, no fault to the mothers, but please stop doing this. Please stop doing this. This is going to lead you to this kind of life. Please stop doing this. They need a stern voice to tell them. All of them don't have it. I don't think he had it. And this is extreme to send them to prison. Yeah, prison is not a great place, and the recidivism rate, credit to Sparky on that one, is very high. A lot of people end up going back to prison because reform is horrible. But I think what he was kind of trying to say, with the mother making sleep better at night, is at least he's not in the street fighting with gangs, getting into drug battles and stuff like that, potentially getting shot. And at least he can sit down and maybe think about the consequences of his actions. And when he gets out, he can lead a better life. I think that's what he's kind of trying to say. He's, he's getting these people off the street. Maybe they can sit down and think about what they're doing. They're living a fast life and they're not thinking about what their life could be. But of course, that comes back to how good reform is in prison, or how good reform is out of prison. And for people like him that are out here doing work, trying to get people in better places, you need more of that around the country. You need to be held accountable. We don't have enough of those. And for that fact, that's why I like Charleston White, because he is one of a few that we need out here in the streets to correct people. And I don't think we have enough of that. We got too many people trying to be nice and like, if you do this, if you could please do this, you'll live a better life. We need stern voices in the community, and we don't have enough of that.
Well, there are gangs in jails.
That's true.
I was just about to say that.
They roll deep in the jails now. It don't
and
be no
it's
different.
A little more. It's almost more dangerous. Like at
Oh,
least
yeah.
if you're in the street, you can hide. You can run somewhere. You can lay low. In prison or in jail, you're tight, close quarters. You know what I'm saying?
Every gang is in the jails. Every gang, and word can get out. Such and such is up in there
Quickly.
So it really don't matter. I think when he said mothers can rest at night, because when you say I've worked on the visiting floor and you see the parents come visit, I think it's more like you said, the mother or the father come up and see them, and they see that they're eating, they're not in the street and stuff like that, and they're getting meals and they're getting themselves together and they're getting into these programs. I think that's what he meant when it comes to the parents, opposed to they don't know where they at when they're in the street. So I think it's more that, they're getting better treatment. Doesn't mean that doesn't mean that they're fully safe.
Yeah. Well, you also have to think too, if let's say they don't even get treatment, but they're off the street from affecting someone else's life, that it does not live that type of life. So now somebody else is safe.
Right.
Yeah.
Because I know in Rikers, they get everything. Okay? They get everything. They get more than us. Believe it or not. They get dental, they get their feet done, they get their nails done, they get their hair done. They're able to take courses, so when they come out, they have the ability to get jobs. Now it's up to that individual to follow through with that. But Rikers, they take care of them inmates as far as health-wise, because it's their responsibility. They don't want an inmate dying on them, so they're going to give them every treatment that they can give them. Now it's up to that person if they want it or they want to accept it. So,
this is
but it is. I wouldn't prefer a person to go to prison, but somebody that's in the street or homeless and stuff like that, I would rather for them to get off the street than to die on it.
I just don't like prison is, like that's indentured servitude. I feel it so, because I mean, and if I don't know, I've never been to prison, but I know that, I don't know if the jails are going to operate like that. And a lot of people, their first stop before prison is going to be jail. They're going to be career, they're going to be in and out of the county jail a lot. And if we're truly trying to rehabilitate these people, if that's the way he's trying to sell them going to jail and them going to prison is true rehabilitation, then that's where it needs to start. Let's walk through these jails. Let's walk through the prison system. Let's walk through the county jail system and see what's being offered to these inmates, because yeah, like the turnover rate for a lot of inmates is not great, and especially when you're coming out with being black.
A record.
It's you have priors, you're already black, and all of this, so it's not helping you, even though on paper it should be. And we just need to take a deeper look into that. And like you were saying, there's a lot of just being told what we are not, what just the negatives, like constantly being told we're doing this. And yes, you're right. We should hold ourselves to a higher standard. Like I do not like the state of hip hop at all whatsoever, because we have to remember a lot of the people that are fans of hip hop now aren't from the communities that hip hop was born in. Hip hop is global. You know what I'm saying? There are Chinese kids who love hip hop. There are Indian kids who love hip hop. There are obviously white kids who love hip hop, and they're a large part of the fan base. And the internet has made us feel so connected in a way that these kids who have never been in the streets get on the internet and talk about how the streets should operate. Oh, King Von real because he followed G code and street code. And it's like, okay, Harold from Iowa, you know what I'm saying? Like you're out here telling, like, I always hate seeing that. I hate when I see fans of artists like Lil Durk say things in the comments like Lil Durk's not real because he didn't slide for King Von. Like, you're telling me that this man is this millionaire, this young millionaire from one of the most dangerous ghettos in the fucking country is less of a man because he didn't go out and kill another man in response to that person or one of that person's friends killing his murderous friend. I'm sorry to say that about King Von. I don't know that young man, but he was a murderer. I'm sorry. Like,
not even just the murder part, it's the whole no snitch culture.
Yeah, and it's like, what about the families? People don't want us to snitch until someone kills your brother, someone kills your sister, someone does something to your mother or your father, someone, God forbid, someone does something to your child. Like, people don't want us to snitch, or people don't want their celebrities to snitch when it's like, it really doesn't. That's where it's gotten out of hand.
Now it's gotten to, it used to be a code where it's just, if you were in that type of lifestyle, then you don't snitch because you understand what you got yourself into. If you sell drugs, no, you don't tell anybody because that's the culture you put yourself into.
But that's what I mean. A lot of people from outside of the neighborhoods and outside of the actual communities that hip hop culture is cultivated in, they are the one.
This is anybody. This is why, as much as people hate 6ix9ine.
Oh God.
I mean, I don't know.
You should.
It's a thin line, because he was in the life, but he wasn't in the life. He was in the life.
But see, a lot of his fan base was not from hood niggas. Let's be honest. A lot of his fan base was from young white kids.
Yeah, neither was he. Have you seen what he was like before?
So they don't care about the rules. They don't care about that's why he can come out and they'll still like watch his live, because they don't care about this not snitching shit. They'll enforce it on the internet to seem cool for the brownie points, for the likes, for the retweets, for the shares, but they aren't aware of the actual damage these street codes, this G code, this violent, or this trying to be gangster still, this trying to be this the image of the drug dealer and the gangster that they keep trying to sell us in the music is more detrimental to us than it is. It's more detrimental than it should be entertaining. Like what he said about the gladiator match, that was very real. Like, celebrities are modern day gladiators. Like, we literally go back and forth and fight for people's entertainments. I say we, like we're there, y'all. We're there. We fighting for people's
fighting for stuff we don't own.
That's
what I'm saying, for attention. We don't own anyone's attention, but we're all fighting over the same amount of it.
We're fighting over land we don't own. We're fighting over music we don't even own. A lot of
colors
times.
We don't own.
Colors we don't own. People we don't own. And we're
statuses and symbols. Like, women argue over who started the term the baddest bitch, or like who started the term queen bee.
Why are you proud of that?
Queen bee is cool. Like, I mean, was it Little Kim or was it Beyonce? Who knows? But what I'm saying? Like, it doesn't matter. They're both queens. You know what I'm saying?
I'm sure Sparky and Preezy can vouch for that. I think Queen Bee, pretty sure. Lil Kim started that.
But who is the Queen Bee? Current.
Lil Kim.
Little Kim.
Like, currently, like, still, like, if they were to do a verse,
100%.
If they were to do a verses though. Oh, and I know it doesn't make sense.
They're not even in the same genre.
I know. It doesn't make sense.
You right, Sparky. They not. You can't compare them.
It's
so
like
that's what
comparing
I'm
apples
saying.
and
But they
oranges.
both call themselves Queen Bee, so you kind of can't help but compare them.
Yeah.
Yeah,
You
but
could be
Beyonce
Queen Bee
called
for that
herself that
generation,
after Kim called
right?
herself that.
But
She
see, the
came
fact
in
that
and did on her name.
that's what I'm saying. The fact that we're having this conversation right here is, the point that I'm making. You know what I'm saying? It what came first? The chicken or the egg?
It should all be entertainment in the end. Music is entertainment. But even when it comes to movies, okay, let's put Robert De Niro. Robert De Niro made
Love
a lot of mafia, Italian mafia movies. Casino, Goodfellas, and such and such.
Taxi Driver.
Right, Taxi Driver. Now, someone goes and walks up to him in the street and says, "You're fake. You're not that person in the movies." You're like, "Yeah, you're right. I'm an actor. It's entertainment." Now, somebody go up to one of these rappers and say, "You're fake. You're not that person in the songs."
You got to shoot them.
They're ready to die for it. They would kill you for that.
Because hip hop is a culture, it's a genre, it's a form of entertainment that was cultivated in, or not even cultivated, well, yes, cultivated in, and then gradually became more about how authentic you are to your art. You know what I'm saying? It was especially when we started in the 80s, it started off very simple and very pure. You know what I'm saying? With broken glass everywhere, people pissing on the curb. No, they just don't care. It's like it wasn't glorifying the ghetto.
Exactly. There you go.
It wasn't glorifying the ghetto at all, but it was telling you this is what's happening in the ghetto. I'm close to the edge. Don't push me right now. You know.
Well, didn't he kill somebody? Talking about close to the edge. Didn't Melly Mel kill someone?
He wanted to.
Yeah, he was close to the edge, Johnny. He done killed somebody.
He wanted to kill somebody.
Did he say it on the
Now he's in the room with an edge, little window, Yeah, he murdered someone. He just got convicted. What, last year?
Oh, you saying he actually just killed someone right now?
Yeah. No, I think it was last year. I think he went.
Oh shit!
Yes, and he's an older man. What Melly Mel is? Wait a minute, Melly Mel he's got to be in his 60s?
Yeah,
maybe
he was old back then.
He's probably my dad's age. It's crazy.
But
that nigga been in hip hop.
He ain't been to prison as far as I know.
Yeah, he went to prison. They convicted him. He killed someone.
Melly Mel.
I don't know about freedom.
Yeah, if he murdered,
he was found guilty.
If he legitimately murdered somebody, Melly Mel, I'm gonna have to see the evidence.
Are you talking about recent? Or are you talking about back then?
No, Melly Mel. You talking to me?
Yeah. Is it recent?
Melly Mel got sentenced, I think, a year. It's either a year or two ago. Yeah.
Yeah. Are you checking Google? Sure? Make sure it was Melly Mel and not like. I was about to say Scotland.
All right. Well, let me make sure now. Hold on. I know it was somebody from the Grandmaster Flash and the Furious Five.
Okay. I'm about to say, don't let it be Grandmaster Flash. I love.
I've seen interviews with Melly Mel. I feel like this year. I could be wrong, but I have not heard of this.
Okay, wait a minute now, because I know it's somebody from Grandmaster Flash and the Furious Five.
Yeah.
So
I'm looking up Melly Mel now. I don't see anything.
Let's look it up now. It's one of them.
It's gonna sound
one of them in the
terrible,
group.
but I hope it's just one of the group members who I don't know.
Okay, I could be wrong. I don't want to make no mistakes now. But somebody in the ground in the group.
Kid Creole.
It was Kid Creole?
Yeah, he was sentenced to 16 years.
Okay, my bad.
Dang, he stabbed a homeless man. Okay, I do remember.
Yes. Okay.
On his way to a copy shop job. Yeah, I do remember this.
Kid Creole.
Oh, what?
Homeless man. First
degree. Yeah. I think they got into a dispute or something.
Mm-hmm.
Something happened.
It's
okay.
Like the jungle sometimes. It makes me.
Yeah.
He didn't keep him going under though. He didn't kill the man.
They put his ass under the jail.
He was 60. Yeah, he was old. 62.
Oh, 52?
62.
Oh, wow. 62. Wow.
Yeah.
Let's see.
He's going to be 80 when he get out.
Even with that being said, they would not talk about it in the music. And as LT was talking about, they were talking about the environment. Now, here's a rule that you hear a lot of news reporters say, or people in the news, period. They say, tell the news, don't be a part of the news. And this is what rapping has become now. Mm-hmm. It used to be where people said rap was like the CNN of the ghetto or the hood or whatever. But now,
Ice Cube, baby.
Right. But now they're becoming part of the news. and they're getting paid for it. And we're going to dive deep into this probably in the next segment that we're going to talk about, because although we are glorifying, we have people who are distributing it, but we are part of the problem as well. If we're going to hold accountability for ourselves, we are part of the problem as well. Part of the problem, not the whole problem, but we are part of it. So the reason why, again, I like Charleston White. I don't like all of his methods. I don't like them all. But it feels like sometimes it's almost like people only respond to the worst of things in the news. You can put good stuff in the news all the time and it won't draw ratings. Nope. And you wouldn't listen to Charleston White probably if he was to be positive about what could be done about the community. So he feels like, I know it's an act. He's even said himself that he is a persona, an internet persona, and he feels like he has to do this to get people to listen. Because otherwise people were just like, oh, okay, you're just like, somebody from the NAACP that wants me to change and I don't care about it. I feel like you got to be that stern with people, somebody, and they won't change if you don't talk reckless like he's doing. The only thing I'm also worried about is the way he is talking reckless about people. I'm surprised nobody hasn't shot him yet.
Now he's standing behind the blue line of the Crips. I'm saying that's why he always be popping all that, I'm a Crip this, Crip that, y'all can't do that to me. You know what I'm saying? Like, dude, you out there, you saying all that, but you still standing behind somebody else. You're not even standing on your own too. But when you talk about somebody can't come for you. Oh, he's standing behind them police. He's standing behind.
I was gonna say that too.
Yeah, he does that. But I mean, even the part that he does with I roll with the police, and I'm gonna call like how he calls people's POs to get people locked up and all that. That shit is lame. You know what I'm saying? You out here talking about you trying to do stuff to help our community, but you yet helping black men get locked up, get taken out of their homes. What is that doing to their families? You ain't worried about none of that. He has this positive idea of jail, so he think he doing them a favor by sending them to jail. Come on, dude. Who the hell made you
If somebody's threatening his life, though, what would a regular person do if somebody threatened his life? If somebody threatened your life or your child?
I don't know. I guess you know what I'm saying? I don't know. But I'm not out here antagonizing people either and then going to run behind the damn man when they threatening my life. Yeah, I'm not out here trying to square with people popping my shit, carrying my gun, doing all I do, kissing my gun online. You arguing with a fucking kid.
I can't.
But then when the daddy want to hop on your ass, then you want to go,
and we know Tip about that action.
Come on, man. Come on, man. Like,
Tip back. Come on, man. He also got, that whole
Tip don't want to go back to jail either. He's grown and mature.
He's trying to be a changed man too. But Charleston White, it's like he won't let him be a changed man. You want to keep coming for him.
You gotta
sit the pipe down and gotta be what?
You gotta be stronger than that. You can't just, get mad and want to kill somebody just because somebody said something to you just to get views. Because we know that's what.
But at the same time, but you also don't be coming for nobody kids. It's even honor amongst certain shit. You're never supposed to mess with the women and the kids. You know what I'm saying? Right. But from man to man, you out here attacking another man's fucking kid. You coming for somebody's kid.
He's grown.
Who grown?
He's 18. Now, I know Charleston at 18 would not consider himself, like, I know if he talked to someone that is 18, he's not going to consider them grown. But you know what? That mind state, he's going to consider that grown, because at 18, definitely, if you're a black male, you're grown as shit. Honestly, if you were a black male, you were considered grown at like 13.
Should an 18-year-old be coming to you and making threats to you to kill you as well, though? Are you supposed to take that lightly?
Because if T.I. is supposed to be more mature and in a better place, then so should Charleston, especially with a name like Charleston.
True, but we also know that's his persona. That's what he's trying to do.
Okay, and
his persona
seems
like he's trying to catch niggas. You know what I'm saying? Like, it seems like
it's like he's the entrapment.
Persona,
who gonna take the bait? Who gonna take the bait? He putting it out this. Who gonna take the bait? What other nigga can I get locked up? Who gonna take the bait? Because he won't lay off Boosie and T.I. Yeah, I mean, I got you. Got to be smarter than that. But damn, at what time, nigga, stop with the coonery? Because you being a fucking coon at this point.
Yeah, you trying to expose things being gladiators.
Trying, like, come on, man.
You're trying to be the
main
gladiator.
You're no better than the people that you talking about.
Right.
I can't disagree with you 100% of that. I can't disagree. That's why I said there's one small part I wish he would not.
Even the part as far as the part about, that he's some people's father figure and we need strong men in the community and this and that. We do. I have 2 sons. I was a single mother. First of all, I wasn't one of those. Now, please don't do this. I wasn't one of those mothers. And all mothers aren't that mother either.
Right.
So we can't just attribute that to the Bible because I get in my son's ass. You know what I'm saying? And both of my sons is grown. And if somebody need to get in their ass right to today, it will be me, not nobody else.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And so they're not, everybody's not getting that. But even if I wanted a male figure in my life, that's not who I want trying to talk to my son out in the community. I don't need you to tear my son down. My son is already teared down enough as a young black man. I don't need you as an older black man out here tearing him down even more. You're supposed to be showing him the way.
Right.
I don't care how much you know until I know how much you care. And the way you coming ain't they coming like you care about shit. Like, come on, man. Come on.
Your kid is good, though. I mean, I think he's just talking about to the trouble you. I mean, your kids is good.
Which should not understand that, but I'm saying troubled youth may not have always been troubled youth or may not be the troubled youth of going forward. So I'm just talking about just in general. I'm just saying as a single black mom or as a single mom, I wouldn't want him to be the man that because the way he's coming. And I'm sure in his mentor program and different things that he does, he builds the kids up or whatever, but that's not what you're showing us. You know how a lot of times they talk about how like LeBron and them do a bunch of good stuff, but that's never seen. They never talk about that. Same, you showing us.
So I know.
Yeah, you showing us all the bad stuff, that you or the way you coming, but you're not showing us how you loving on the kids and you doing this, and you talk about it. But what we see all the time is that damn coonery, and that ain't.
Yeah, but it might. From what I hear, he does a lot. He does a lot in the community, but I don't think it would have been talked about because he just would have been a regular 9-to-5 guy if he didn't talk the way he does.
So it sounds like it. I mean, I just popped back in. I knew I was frozen when I was still talking and everybody else was frozen. But like he is the type of they really do this all the time. They grab one black person and it's like how many zeros are on his check to get him to because. It's just spewing conservative Republican rhetoric against, again, you can say anything negative about black people. You can hop on that radio and say, all these black kids, all these black youths do is kill each other and this and that and this and that and this and that. Nobody gets on here and says that about these white kids who buy guns and shoot up elementary schools. Nobody, like we literally, we're making it seem like the black youth are the biggest problem. Like this man, Charleston White, wants the focus to be on saving black youth. And yes, it does need to be on that. But the way you're trying to save them is by constantly reminding them of what they're being told they are. Basically. Yeah, like they ain't shit. Like the things that you say their music is telling them, the things you say that or their music is glorifying, you're telling them that. You're a person that comes from that wants them to go and be around other people that come from that it just seems like they grabbed him and they being the conservative white fucking government base of Georgia or wherever he's based out of, whoever the fuck runs this gladiator show, he is Texas. Proclaimed to be a part. He's from Texas.
Yeah, I think so.
I don't know why I thought he was from Georgia. He just looked like
I would agree. He sounds like he's from Georgia.
He looked like a dirty Decatur ass motherfucker. Yeah. But like he's just spewing the rhetoric of someone that is either been institutionalized and just really now again, I've never been to jail. I've never been to prison. If he just love it that much, hey, maybe you should turn your, after school youth programs into some sort of prison. Like Kanye started his own school. Maybe you should start your own prison since you constantly telling people what they not doing. Like, I just don't like that. It's just, they just keep grabbing black people to tell us what we as black people not doing. But what are the white people telling these white kids to not shoot up schools?
Who's out there that's positive, that has the same fame as Charleston White?
That's positive?
Yeah, that is on the same
Russell Wilson.
As him as negative. That's saying the same. Saying the same type of message he's saying. I'm not saying message, but the same level of positivity to his negativity. Who's on the same level that is out there? Like
I know. I'll be honest. I can't think of anyone right off the top. Give me a moment, but I know there's TED Talks. I know there's.
That's what I'm talking about. See,
I know there's
he
black
stands out more
Dr. Umar
because the way he does it. Nobody's standing out nowhere near as much as he
Make it
is
right.
from the
Does that make it
internet
right?
world anyway.
He's standing out for it. That doesn't mean that that makes it okay.
But it's
I would say
working.
Michael Eric Dyson as well. I love the motivational Michael Eric Dyson, Dr. Umar. They speak power and positivity into black men.
Are young people really listen to him, or just like older?
But that's the thing. They're all around the same age. Charleston White is not a young man.
Because Eric Dyson, most of the people ain't understand what the words he's saying because his words are going over people's head because he's reading from a PhD
He's talking
level.
to them about things they know. He's reaching them because he's talking to them about hip hop. He's saying, "Hey, I'm a fan of Jay-Z. I'm a fan of Tupac. Not only am I this is my Michael Eric Dyson voice. Not only am I a fan of Tupac, I knew the brother. I wrote with the brother. Me and he actually has a legitimate base, and he knows the hip hop artists that he talks about. Like if you've ever seen any of the Tupac documentaries, he's always on there. He teaches classes at Berkeley about Tupac, about the poetry behind the music, the rose that grew from concrete. And Dr. Umar is just constantly telling us to stay away from the white devil. Like Dr. Umar is, I would say, to all of the anti-blackness I hear coming from Charleston White, Dr. Umar is definitely on the same level. Dr. Umar is a meme.
Do you think teenagers are listening to Dr. Umar and Michael Eric Dyson?
Yes. Dr. Umar, definitely. He has been memed to death. If you are a meme and a GIF, if your mere reactions can be searched in a GIF search bar, you're bigger. I could type in Charleston White in my Apple GIF bar right now. You're not gonna pop up. Dr. Umar, because he has doctor in front of his name, will.
I think grown people are listening to Dr. Umar and Michael Eric Dyson. Michael Eric Dyson speaks with every word he has to have 4 syllables behind it. And a lot of the words,
discount it and say, if we're going to say that only young, or it's mainly the young people that, and I don't want to say discount it because these are the people we want to reach, young people, but it's the young people primarily that are listening to Charleston White and they're not listening to these positive people, then that's the problem. It's like, and whoever is behind, Charleston, a matter of fact, I'm not even going to blame the people behind him. Charleston White knows this because he knows that when you're younger, you gravitate more towards drama. You gravitate more towards negativity. No 16-year-old kid is waking up and saying, let me read the stock section of the newspaper.
Exactly.
And he knows that. And he's not so and I'm guessing, you can say, well, if he's trying to catch more flies with shit than sugar. You can't do that though. That's not the saying, because he's not using any sugar. It's all shit. It's coming out of his mouth.
He's catching flies though.
He's catching flies, but they're dying. They're literally just swarming over a pile of shit.
Are they though? Because we can't really judge how qualitative his works are. Because he is not just speaking on the internet, because he's actually doing face-to-face with his program.
Why don't we see those? We only see the well, you've only shown
everybody don't brag about that. See, I've seen these things on video. Of course, I've had to go search them, and I had to go look up what his program was. It was called Hype, helping young people excel. But again, you hear about LeBron James, but of course, LeBron James is a global entity by himself. So you're going to hear these things and people are going to have photo ops and take pictures and stuff when he does things like this. Some people are just apt not to brag about it or put it in the newspaper all the time. The only way he could get that type of attention is to talk brash. And then people will start paying attention. I'm like, well, who is this guy? Because that's what I did. Because I'm like, who is this guy? Let me actually go Google who he is. And he came from prison. He got out early off of a murder charge. He's doing this in the community in Texas. He is a community activist.
It's like it almost like hearing all of that. It sounds like he had to sell his soul in order to get his actual message across.
It sounds like he's trying to turn the young people into little hymns. Go commit a murder, go to prison, you'll come out a better man, then you can be an activist and help some people. And
they gave me a check for $50K. All I had to do was say, niggas love killing niggas. It's literally, it's the same thing. Just like Sparky said, the same industry, the entertainment industry he's talking shit about, you are a part of.
The hip hop industry?
Entertainment. No, he said entertainment.
Okay.
So even if you don't have a talent, he doesn't have a talent, but you know what he can do? Get on a nigga's nerves.
God.
Doing a good job at that.
Someone will pay for that. Someone will write that check. Because he's right. It's all about content, because no one is watching TV anymore. No one is sitting down and flipping through TV channels. Everyone is scrolling through their phones, looking at what's on Facebook, what's on Twitter, what's this video on my reel on Instagram. Like, we're just looking at things in a smaller amount of we want to consume a large amount of bullshit in a very small digestible bite. I want to be able to watch a 2-minute video of some shit going down and be able to do that like 1,000 more times throughout the day. That's the kind of culture we're living in.
Yeah, you got to find your niche. I mean, that's the same thing what happened with Kevin Samuels. Kevin Samuels had a show for years where he was just talking about guys. And then all of a sudden, when he switched to talk about women, then people all of a sudden paid attention. So you got to find your niche somewhere. This is his niche.
You got to piss somebody off.
That's
kind of what,
yeah.
Man, you brought up one coon to justify another coon.
I know, because Kevin Samuels was dogging. Oh my God, he was dogging women.
But you're right. I never heard about that.
If you gotta go that deep or go that low to be able to justify what he doing,
I never heard about Kevin Samuels until women started hating Kevin Samuels.
Oh God, he was a mess.
I never heard about him. Like, and he probably, and it was so funny to see men come out. No, he actually said things about men, bro. This is like 6 years ago, and this only has like 2,000 views. This video where he called this woman fat has 3 million.
I'm sorry he passed away though, but he was something else.
It worked.
Everybody has an expiration date when they're born.
You can tell when he switched it up. That's when he started acting like a bad bitch on camera. Ma'am, what do you do for a living?
And I
guarantee
you, if Charleston White hadn't done it the way he's doing now, nobody would listen to him the same way with him. That's the point I'm making on it.
That's the thing. But do we need to listen to it?
That's the other thing we have to ask.
If the main message is heard, I'm fine with
it. Just because you have a message don't mean it's right. And I really, be honest with you, jail is not the way. Jail is not the way to go. I just wish they would bring these programs back for these young children and these young men.
Actual programs like boys
and
girls,
because jail is not the answer. It's not, because a lot of times it could do more harm. Like I say, a lot of people go to jail and they come out and like, I ain't going back. And then you got the ones with the revolving door. They constantly keep coming back and coming back and coming back. So it's not the answer. It really isn't. Because you may not be safe in jail. You could get killed in jail. We have incidents that has happened like that.
It's easier to get to you because you're in one spot. Like, imagine going to jail and you're a blood and oh shit, my cellmate is a Crip. Damn. What? Hey, CO, can I change it? Fuck you, get in that cell.
A lot of times when you know the person, like you got beef with them and they find out that this person has beef, they have to move that inmate.
Oh yeah, I'll be watching 60.
They have to move them. If he's telling you that I know this guy from the street or whatever, and I don't feel safe, it has to be looked into.
And what about
now you're not safe because you got to watch your back while you're walking the hallway.
Yeah, now the people gonna be mad because now you was snitch because you didn't went and told somebody that, so it's the whole thing.
So that's what I'm saying.
They coming out with an F on their record. How is their life gonna be better when you coming out with an F? That's the whole thing. They want to get you with an F. Now you preaching to them there for them to come out with an F. Yeah, they gonna be better in some instances, but now they got some shit against them than they already had. It was already a black man. Now they a black man with an F.
Yes.
Come on, man.
And mentally and emotionally, it's just not the place to be. Like, let's be honest. Like, I again, I've never been to jail, never been to prison. I don't know how every CO speaks to the inmates, and I can't even say that there aren't some people that probably don't need to go to jail. Like, if you can't follow the law, yeah, you got to go to jail. But again, like it really has to start with the actual basis of rehabilitation. How are these people being really rehabilitated? Some people, you have one instance where you get out of line, put them in the hole for 3 days or whatever the fuck. Like I was watching Life last night, so make them stand on a bottle, make them stand on a rack of glass bottles or some shit for 24 hours.
But don't believe everybody that go to jail is guilty. Okay, everybody that go to jail is not guilty, and I could tell you that for a fact.
That's psychologically, like going somewhere knowing I'm not supposed to be here. I didn't like the shit that they saying I didn't even happen, but I'm being treated like a criminal. Like just being treated like something you inherently aren't, especially if you're really innocent, it's going to do something to you psychologically. You're not going to be able to come out like Kevin Hart's uncle. You can just start snapping the cat back blues.
Can make you worse. Can make you worse.
It's not like, so again, I've never gone. Don't want to go.
People are supposed to do that. The ones that are not committing the crimes, and there's crime within their neighborhood. What are they supposed to do? Do they not sleep better that these other people are going to prison for crimes they committed? Are we supposed to keep them out more? Because you're saying there's no programs. Okay, that's fair. What do you do in the meantime? If there are people constantly killing people, constantly selling drugs in the community, constantly robbing people, breaking into people's homes and stuff.
I mean, those people need to go to jail.
Yeah, nobody's saying don't arrest people. Like,
keep arresting
people that break the law.
We're talking about the worst of the worst. We're not talking like white collar crimes or anything.
No, they need to go to jail. They need to go to jail
too.
He was in prison for murder.
Who you say?
He got out early.
Who you talking
about? White. He was in prison for murder and got out early.
Wonder why
he didn't participate in the murder. He was with the people.
Oh yeah, he definitely. The one that tells gets the less time.
He cooperated with the state.
The one that comes forward first gets the less time.
Oh yeah,
that's what it is.
He said, "Oh yeah, why am I going to prison for somebody else?"
It tells everything.
Yeah, he's saying why are we
this sound like he a nigga that snitched. He sound like the first nigga that snitched, came home and was happy about it. Hey, look, I told and niggas wasn't having it though. That's why he on a everybody needs to snitch like me campaign right now. Hey, them niggas need to go to jail. I went to jail, I told, and they sent me home.
That's part of the culture because a lot of people will go and they were just the ride-alongs and like, well, you don't tell. And the mama's up there crying like, son, I need you at home. Why are you going to do 20 years because of a code that you shouldn't even been a part of? You didn't even commit the crime.
I can't say.
That's a horrible.
He'd be like that girl, Mama, I love you. P.O.P. Hold it down, baby. Hold it down.
I'm legally blind.
He's about to get out too, I think, too.
What?
They had a rumor that she was dead. It's not true though, but they had a rumor going around that she got killed in prison. Yeah.
The fact that people again negative things like that spread so quickly because I saw that too. Like we're in two different places in the world, but I'm pretty sure we both saw that at the same time.
Yeah, I'm now looking at the story. Yeah, it's false that she died. I think she's about to get it down. I feel like I just saw a story that she was just.
And somehow somebody made money off of their website being clicked with that headline. Somehow, I don't know. That's how
songs off of that.
No, I'm just talking about the headline of her being. Fake headline of her being dead. Like
it's kind of like the Inquirer.
Right.
You know how they used to have them crazy headlines? You see them in the supermarket line. You can't read all the stories, so shit, I might as well buy it.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Same thing. Let me click on this and see. Oh shit, let me see what's going on. So with a little bit of lie or untruth, they got a lot of clicks though.
All you need is a banging ass title.
Revenue. That's it.
A banging ass headline. Dave Chappelle hates Jews and gays.
It's all about money.
Well, can't nobody talk about them Jews, so like it's crazy.
Hey, look, I'm a descendant of Moses' Israelites.
The world.
Right.
Shalom and L'chaim.
Yeah, I remember when the COVID first started and none of the Jews was wearing their masks. And they said, we don't follow those rules. I know it was happening out here in Brooklyn. They were all up in Eastern Parkway. They said, we don't follow with the rules.
That's why they got, when you read the Bible, they got punished a lot because they don't follow the rules. Like they don't, like God told them, hey, Israelites, do this. You know what, God? No, fuck you and those commandments.
Yo, I'm reading this story now about old girl, the POP girl.
You went down the rabbit hole.
Hold it down.
Sorry, I did this. I did not know it was that serious. So she
Oh,
gonna
yes.
she gonna be in prison about 8. She got sentenced to
20 years, right?
20, yeah, it was 18, I think, specifically.
Mhm.
I didn't know she had stabbed somebody, a 7'3"
Oh,
in a
I know.
hotel. I didn't
Oh
know.
yeah, didn't they torture him a little bit? Like they,
Maybe. I'm just saying they said they stabbed
yeah.
him and left him for dead. Maybe he lived.
Mm-hmm. But he lived.
Wow. Did not know it was that serious.
Mm-hmm.
For some reason, I thought she just robbed somebody. I didn't know she did all that.
It was a few of them.
So dang, she ain't even gonna be able to see her fame go pop off.
But
Well, she said she was legally blind.
Yeah, is she actually blind? Does it say anything about her eyesight?
I don't know.
Does it say anything?
I don't know the story.
What's her prescription?
Let me stop.
Yeah, what is her prescription?
It says she won't even see the light of day to enjoy her newfound fame.
Oh, that was cold.
Well, if she blind, she won't never see the light of day.
Right. She didn't look blind in that video. The news reporter said, "Can you see?" She said, "Huh?" He said, "Can you see?" Barely. She said barely.
Bill Cosby went blind when he was going through trial, and then once he got out, all of a sudden he could see everything.
I see the light. I see the light.
That might be who Charleston White was talking to. That's why it feel like prison is the way. Bill Cosby as soon as Bill Cosby got out, his cataracts was fixed right on the spot. That's why I went to prison. That's exactly why. Because I wasn't going to pay for glasses. Yep, I'm just going to prison for my medical expenses. Like what?
You don't have to pay for glasses when you go to jail.
They will give you some.
They give them to you. They give them to you.
They'll give you them Dahmer Jones.
You got a choice to pick the certain frames you want. They give them to you.
Okay, they let you pick this got to be it.
They got certain frames that you might like.
Rikers sound like the fucking
Rikers is a mess. Rikers is a hotel.
I'm saying.
But maybe that's what Charleston White will say. Hey,
I can't talk about any other jail, but I know what Rikers is. Well, when I was there,
Charleston had to go to a prison in Texas, and if the longest yard taught me anything, unless you can play football, it's pretty bad. You're gonna have sex with Tracy Morgan or something.
That's state prison. State prison, totally different.
All right, let's go and transfer into the next thing, and now somehow this is going to be related.
Oh man,
we're going to hit into it. It seems like every week is something with this guy. So Kanye West, we talked about it last show, and I would hope the news was going to die a little bit with him, but he's back in. It seems the people he was talking against and saying that he wouldn't get in trouble regardless of what he had to say about Jewish people. Adidas wasn't going to drop him. He was going to be just fine. Adidas ended up dropping him, albeit it took them a few days because I think they had to count up the money they were going to lose before they actually started to act like they care about the moral fiber that they had within the company. Because all these other people, and this got weird too. All these people start saying they weren't down with Kanye West clothing lines, TJ Maxx, Popeyes, and KFC, the gas station,
Shell,
TCY, Dairy Queen. All these people just coming out of the woodworks talking about, oh, we don't support Kanye. I'm like, really?
All them niggas.
Can you refresh my memory of what he said about the Jews? What did he say?
Well, he said several things, but I think the main thing that people were upset about was saying I'm going to go DEFCON on the Jewish people.
Because DEFCON means that's like some. He also had a bar years ago where he made a reference. This is something like the Holocaust. But that was just a slick ass bar. But like, so what does DEFCON mean exactly? I know it's like something from
basically a military act to kill off somebody.
Okay, so he threatened the Jews.
Lord,
right?
He done.
Yeah,
that's
he didn't
it.
say like a specific person. He was like the Jewish people. I'm like, come on.
No.
Like, see, you could have made fun of the Jews. They let people make fun of them all the time. Like, you turn on Comedy Central, South Park is literally they had an episode where Eric Cartman dressed up as Hitler and tried to have the Jews exterminated.
Oh no.
Can you be a black guy and make fun of Jews?
Fuck no.
That might be where the difference is.
Actually, but you know what? One of the creators of
Listen,
South
we
Park
were
is Jewish.
persecuted just like the Jews was. So I don't know what they talking about.
One of the creators of South Park is Jewish, I think. So it's, yeah, I think it's one of those things. It's cool when we do it, not you guys.
Right.
It's their N-word. Oh shit! They just pulled an N-word on Kanye.
Family Guy can do it all the time too.
They're definitely. I don't. Let's see. Seth Green is Jewish. The voice of Chris Griffin.
Yeah.
He also does Robot Chicken.
That's true. What's the name of the guy?
I mean, he's not lying when he says the Jews are all over the entertainment industry. Yes, they are. We know this. That's not.
But here's the thing.
True.
I don't understand.
Most of them are the lawyers. They're the lawyers of a lot of.
His lawyer dropped him.
Is it?
It's like you didn't think your lawyer was going to drop you, my boy.
Is it all the way a bad stereotype though? That
no, I mean, unless you're calling them greedy or backstabby or trying to pin that whole killing Jesus thing, which it was actually the Romans, but the Jews definitely they threw stones at him. They gave them up. They sold them out.
They were in the crowd, I guess you could say, but.
Because they were being enslaved by the Romans. Also, they were in a situation where they turned against their literal idol because the people in charge of their lives said so. This nigga Jesus is not the Son of God, and we command all y'all to throw stones at him as he carries this big thing of wood through Jerusalem. But we actually do it. Okay, all right. And that's what they did. And it's crazy that over the years, we've literally just only drifted towards blaming the Jews for that. But yeah, it was the Romans. That's what, again, why we got a whole verse in the Bible called Romans. And it's and that's what's happening with motherfucking Kanye right now. That's what's happening with all these black people.
I don't understand. We keep saying, whoever has said it before, Kanye or whatever celebrity, I'm like, okay, if they are controlling it or whatever, and we get mad every time that we say something about them, how about we copy what they're doing? I know we don't have the entire means of doing it, but how about if anyone says anything like that against us, especially our own people, we do like the ADL does, the Anti-Defamation League. We get in their behinds and cancel them and not buy their products and stuff like that. But we don't, because I don't think we see the value the same way we do. They've been doing that for centuries. As soon as somebody says something, and they'll say, because we don't want another Holocaust, we don't want another Hitler to arise, but then we don't want another whatever racism here in America, period, to arise back to how it was 100 years ago, 200 years ago.
I was actually watching a documentary called The Assimilation of Whiteness, where it was talking about during World War II, where a lot of Jewish people were fleeing their countries and coming over to America for refuge from Hitler, how they would be mocked and treated like minorities as well, because if you weren't white, Christian, and from America, you were you would get bullied. You know what I'm saying? So they did the thing where they would assimilate. They would change their names from, Jacob Greenberg to just Jacob Green. And, they would assimilate to a more straightforward, standard Americanized way of pronouncing their name, going about their culture, because, they have the skin tone to pass for it anyway. So there's always been, and I hope we don't get canceled for this, but there's always been Jewish people have always been able to lean on the fact that they look white. That, what I'm saying? They don't see themselves as being a part of the same tribe as Africans and African Americans, even though you come from that country, you come from that continent. But yeah, they've always been able to fall back on being white to get by in America, and it's worked in their favor. Like I said, they're in every form of entertainment we can see: sports, movies, music, every fucking thing. And it's primarily because white people have been, the standard American white people have been cool enough to be what'd you say your name was again? Ham, not Hamburg, right? Okay, I guess you're cool. All right.
And it's kind of easy to hide too, because Jewish people aren't a race. It's a religion. Anybody can be Jewish people. Black people.
And a lot of Jews are self-hating. So they don't mind like hating on themselves around actual or Catholics or Christians. They don't mind actually saying, "Yeah, I hate I'm." A lot of Jews aren't actually practicing, especially the ones that are in Hollywood and the ones that are in the entertainment industry. They're not at temple every day like Drake is in the Hell Yeah Fucking Right video. They don't care about their religion. They don't care about morals. They don't care about ethics. They don't care about values. They care about, and this is what Jewish people hate being called, they care about money. They care about the almighty dollar. That's the God they worship now.
Maybe we need to get to that point, that state of mind too. I mean, if anything, if you're going to keep they're not going to help you. As I always say about other
we
people,
always feel like we need white people's help to get somewhere.
That's why I keep saying, how about you just do the same things they're doing and then get on their level? Because you keep complaining about it, you're not going to get anywhere. See, this is the problem I have with Kanye West. Two problems I have with him. One, I do not think the things he's talking about, where he's talking about empowering Black people, I think he's more so weaponizing that, more so than he actually cares. I don't think he cares. I think he's weaponizing that and makes it look like he cares. And then people are backing him and stuff like, oh, he's for us. Let's support Kanye West. He's got rich people problems. He's not
trying to use us against white people. He's trying to show white people, hey, look at how many Black people I control. Look at how many people listen to me that I can manipulate. He's trying to use how much people love and listen to him as his value, as his bargaining chip for these rich elites that he's trying to keep in the good graces of, which is sick as fuck. Like, and people just go with it. Again, I saw someone defending his school today. And it's like,
shut
you can't
down
even and still defending. It was like, at least he's trying to do something for the youth. The school is not accredited, so you don't get a diploma or a degree. It's a private Christian school, so you're already denying like 2/3 of the world if they're not going to be Christian, and you're not teaching them shit. And it costs $15,000 a semester.
Rich people problems, like you said. Rich people
like
problems.
if you're a poor kid from Chicago, like Kanye West used to be, you're not going to be able to go to Kanye West school. And the fact that you're not actually getting a real education that you can take to an actual university just says, just like his sneakers, just like his music, just like anything with a famous person's name on it, you're only buying it because it's theirs. You see more value in them than you do in your own community and yourself. Like, he has a GoFundMe. Fans have started him a GoFundMe to make him a billionaire again. Look this up. Like, this is real time shit. They have started him a GoFundMe to make him a billionaire again. They're going to give him.
That sounds like a church, a preacher at a church that wants $1 million to get a new jet.
He didn't start it. Fans did. Like, his fans are just
I'm saying that's tithes and offering for him though.
And it is like he knew how to play us. He did that Sunday service shit, and Black people love some good old Negro spirituals. Black people love, oh, look at Kanye. He's getting back with God. No, he's using gospel to manipulate y'all. Like,
that's why I say I cannot get down with him, because it seems like he's just weaponizing all these things for his benefit. Like, oh, Kim Kardashian and Khloe, they stole my children. They won't let a single Black father be with his children.
And then he hasn't talked about that in like 3 weeks. Ever since he got that 11 billion, that's all I've been hearing him say is how much he's worth.
Yeah, and he lost a good chunk of that when Adidas ended up dropping him. And, there's the other thing people are saying too. They're saying he said all these inflammatory things to get out of his contract. I'm like, okay, say that is true. Then why did he go to Skechers the other day to try to get his shoe to go with Skechers? If he's trying to do his own thing, which I would love if he did, get his shoe, be his own distributor, hire his people, great, do that. This man went to Skechers. Kim Kardashian was with Skechers at one point.
This nigga gonna get a pair of hush puppies.
Skechers is owned by a Jewish owner.
Where does he think he can go in entertainment that is not Jewish owned or ran or infiltrated? Where does he think he can go? You thought hip hop was like, you thought hip hop didn't have Jews? It does. You thought gospel didn't have Jews? It does. Guess what? You thought fashion didn't have Jews? It does. They're all over it. To be honest, there's more white people than on the planet than there are black people. I don't think, I think that's just the actual fact. And you got to this point, you got to that bank account or you got to that net worth and you stopped identifying yourself as a black person. You know what I'm saying? He only used it, you're right, to weaponize it into, you know what I'm saying, so people could feel like they see themselves in him. Yeah, Kanye is doing this for us black men. No, the fuck he's not. Because I guarantee, like, light nigga, dark nigga, fuck nigga, real nigga, still nigga. Like, they do this for him because he's rich, because he has value to them, because he has control over masses. And that's all people really want, control over masses, because that equals money.
But see, this proved a lot of things. You know, this proves, of course, that when people talk about, oh, they don't see color, you know, they love everybody, all lives matter, and all this stuff. When he said these inflammatory remarks about Jewish people, you saw how they came together. Where were they at when he said slavery was a choice?
They were enslaved too.
Where were they at when he said George Floyd didn't die because of a knee to his neck? Where were they at then? Nobody's even talking about that part. They're all talking about the other stuff he said about Jewish people. Where's the?
He actually got a cease and desist from George Floyd's daughter and her mother.
Yeah,
hit him with a cease and desist about that. Now,
$5 million lawsuit.
The other thing too, Nike. You know, he started out with Nike. You know, first Yeezys were with Nike, of course,
Red October.
and they were 15,000 now. Now, you know, at the time when the thing didn't work out with Nike at the time, nobody seen him going to Adidas and blowing up like that. It was the same kind of type talk that we have now, and that shoe years later is worth 15,000. You know, everybody want to do the Kanye crazy. He this, he that. That man ain't that foolish. That man's a mastermind.
Yeah, I don't think.
And when you look at it on the back end, I guarantee you he gonna come out up. He gonna come out up. He gonna come out up on the back end. He gonna come out up. Watch what I tell you.
I just don't get the point. Like, if and back to the contract thing, like, if he said all of that stuff just to get out of his contracts, why did he get into the contracts in the first place if he was just going to get out of them?
Didn't Sway tell them this? What is Sway?
That's what I'm saying. And good. Thank you for bringing up Sway, because this is what I noticed about Kanye. He doesn't value himself. He only sees value in himself when other people give him money. He's been yelling about this when he was talking to Sway. I want Marc Jacobs to give me money so that I can create. He was yelling about Sway. I already lost millions of dollars on my own clothing line because nobody bought it. Black people didn't go out and support me. But in that same interview, or no, in a different interview, you see where he tries to use his influence over black people. He was like, and this is why Louis Vuitton needs to work with Kanye West. If you're black and you're in Atlanta right now, don't shop at Louis and Vuitton today. Like, he really does feel like he has a prophetic voice to where if he says something, people are going to do it or people are going to not do it. And it's been proven that, they will. You know what I'm saying? People will show up for this man, like, to an insane level, but they will. And it's crazy that we're back here now. Like, he sat there with Sway and yelled at Sway when, yes, Kanye West could have just done all of this. He didn't need to go to Nike, but he wanted validation from Nike. He wanted his shit to have that validation of that literal and metaphorical check. You know what I'm saying? He wanted that validation of saying, I got a shoe deal with Adidas, because whereas I could just have Yeezys by Yeezy, for some reason, we as black people, we only put our dollars behind things that are created by others for us. Like, we talk shit about FUBU, but that's something created by a black man. You know what I'm saying? We talk shit about, like, shoes, like, you know what I'm saying? Well, now I was about to say, well, shoes like S. Carter's or the ones, or Rock Nation shoes after he had after Jay-Z had to deal with Reebok. We didn't support those. Shit. When Jay-Z decided to break off and do his own streaming service, niggas will gladly pay for Apple. Niggas will gladly pay for Spotify. Will sit down and put up with random shit on Pandora, but wouldn't support a black man when he decided, hey, here goes all my music, all my wife's music, shit, maybe all my children's music, right? Whenever the fuck we release it, just pay for my streaming service. We talked shit about it. Some people supported it. That's how he made money off of it. I supported it. I had it. Goddamn. I love Tidal. I still have Tidal. But we talked shit about it. We did not show up for it the way we will show up for Kanye right now, which is weird. And Jay-Z doesn't have to tell me that I'm a piece of shit for me to, you know what I'm saying? He never had to wear a White Lives Matter shirt, or like he never had to do any of that for me to feel like I need to, for ownership for me as a black man needs to be important.
My prediction on that, LT, is because they supported Kanye more because it was a tangible item, like a shoe and clothing that we could show off instead of music for Jay-Z.
Yeah, I get that. Because
But the S. Carter
Ivy
was
Park.
a shoe.
Didn't it sell pretty good? I thought it sold pretty good. I don't know. I didn't have it.
I had a pair. I support
50
people
had
I
a pair
fuck
too,
with,
didn't
you know
you?
what I'm saying? I did have a pair of G units too. And I had a pair of Hurricanes
Hurricane
from the game.
Oh,
AKA
okay.
Hurricane Game.
I thought
He
you
had
said
a shoe.
Chris.
No,
I was like, what?
he had
That's why I was like, he had a shoe.
he had a version of a shoe. I want to say there was some Hurricane
He had
Chris
a shoe.
like he didn't have a shoe, the Hurricane Chris, but he had a shoe that he was like you know how like Drake has OBO shoe or OBO Jordans and shit.
Yeah.
A collab.
Yeah, a collab. Thank you.
Kanye has another brand. What's the other brand that he has? That's not the Yeezys. It's another brand. It's something to God. It's another brand he has out there though, which is separate from the Yeezy stuff that still has the ability to do the collabs, huh?
It's a clothing line?
Yeah, it's another clothing or shoe line. We was talking about it last night. Hold on.
This really makes me scared though, because like if people have really started a GoFundMe to make this man a billionaire, that tells me that he might actually stand a real chance of becoming president in 2024. We need to be prepared for that.
One other thing that we said tonight that we spoke on too, y'all know a Jew, regardless of their current religious identity, is supposed to be a person that's directly descended from a Jewish ancestor. So Jewish isn't just about religion either. It's also about them being descendants of
Israelites.
That's how.
So they have. But that's what I'm saying. It's not just their religion. It's also part of their race. So
that's why it does get sticky when you
that's
talk
how
about
Nazis rounded up Jews. They didn't round them up based off of just the religion. If their grandmother.
Because it used to be on the mother's side. They used to only go by the mother's side, but some Jewish things deal with the father's side too, and will still accept them even if it's not matriarch. Yeah,
right. You might have had no connection to it, but it's based off of what your grandmother may have served under. They would round you up and put you in concentration camps. But
and it is crazy that Jewish people had nothing to say when Kanye said slavery was a choice, because it's like y'all have been slaves too, but Kanye made the very clear distinction that he was talking about the 400 years of African American slavery. Mm-hmm. If he would have said, if I went back to ancient Egypt and I saw the Hebrews building the pyramids and just like not stopping and not asking for human resources, I would say it sounded like y'all slavery is. If he said something about if he said something about the Holocaust and concentration camps being a choice, yeah, it'd be totally different.
What would have happened? What would have happened if a Jewish or a white person would have said something inflammatory? Oh, I forget that country music star. No. It was a football player. I think he was on the Panthers, and he was at a concert, a country concert, and he said the N-word several times to some fans and stuff like that. Okay. And when it came out, there were some civil rights people on our side. It was like, okay, he said it, he apologized. We're going to work with him and teach him why that word is bad. Why?
They did the same thing with the baby. The gay community did the same thing with the baby. We're going to, the baby has apologized, and we're going to teach him why gay slurs are. It's like, he had to do something gay. That's what it is. He had to do something gay for them to do. That's what it is. That's the exchange in the entertainment industry. You talk about the Jews, you got to work for the Jews. You talk about the gays, you got to work for the gays.
That's a perfect example. They stick together on both of them, but
we the only ones that don't stick together.
we need to do it. We need to do it. But then again, that talks about what we talked about earlier and the week before. We got to value ourselves first. We got to clean in-house first before we gonna get them to respect us.
So, and if we clean the in-house, then that means we gotta get rid of Kanye and Charleston White.
That's a fair exchange. That's a fair exchange.
Those are both two opposite ends of the spectrum that are literally a representation of the same thing.
Mhm.
Like one has a
I think
considerable of
Charleston White actually cares, but he may do it in a bad way compared to Kanye. I don't think Kanye cares at all.
I don't know.
I don't think that Kanye don't care at all. I don't think that Kanye doesn't care at all. I think he's lost as the Dickens, but once his mom, because he wasn't as bad. Once his mom died, he really lost it. He really he lost it.
It sounds so heartless to say, but people got
he just was on our side then. He was crazy back then.
Say what?
I think he was crazy back then. He was just on our side a little bit more.
We just said we didn't think he was crazy. Didn't you just say I don't think he was? I don't think he's crazy.
I think he was crazy. I think he was crazy then. I don't think he just changed subjects. That's all. He was the same person that interrupted Taylor Swift at the MTV. He was the same person that during the Katrina.
You think Kanye's crazy?
I think
white
he's
girl.
well. Let me not say crazy. Let me not say crazy. I think he's
has mental issues.
He got mental issues, yeah, but I don't. He will stand up for anything he believes in. But the difference now is it just doesn't flow with what we believe in. Because
didn't they say he's bipolar?
Yeah, and it's okay to say that Kanye West mentally it needs help. Like I feel like sometimes we kind of like kiss his ass a little too much and constantly call him a genius, and he is.
I don't like that word.
He's not an idiot.
Not a genius because they're successful at stuff. You don't make.
Yeah, and it's like, and we always equivocate it to because he's a billionaire. So like, and
he does too.
But the thing is, this man is also mentally unstable, and it is okay for us to not I love the meme that somebody says like it's crazy that so many people is out here understanding Kanye West plan before they've understood their own plan. Because how can so many people claim to know and understand and praise his moves? Like I literally had to tell one dude today, it's like, bro, the way you're defending Kanye West, it sounds like you love him more than you love yourself. Because like, why are you not putting this much? Like, I'm one of those people. I'll look at your profile, I'll see what you're about before I respond to you because I'm a Cancer. I'm very observant, I'm analytical, and when I say something to you, I want it to be accurate. So like he kind of looked like Chief Keef. He looked like a 30-year-old Chief Keef. And I didn't want to assume too much, but I felt like he had children that he probably didn't see. And I'm like, bro, you're the exact kind of person that Kanye West is like. You're the exact kind of person that Candace Owens is making documentaries about. You're a statistic to her. And according to Kanye West, he rides with Candace Owens. You know what I'm saying? Like it's really these shoes and these beats got niggas in the motherfucking chokehold. And I get it. This man has made great music that has gotten people through things. You probably see a little bit of yourself in him because maybe you've lost a parent in your life. Maybe you deal with bipolar disorder. And you know what I'm saying? I get it. I get seeing yourself in these people, but we constantly excuse bullshit from people that we love too much when we know that if this was happening immediately to us, we would not excuse it. We know if one of our homeboys showed up with a White Lives Matter shirt on, we would not say, you're a genius. I get what you're doing. Exactly. You're doing that because your job at Food Lion is actually hindering you as a black man. You know what I'm saying? Because what do they mean when they say Food Lion? No, we're not. We don't go to these layers to understand our own significant other sometimes. That's why we're in situationships more than we're actually in relationships. You know what I'm saying? We don't go through these links to actually understand the people and support the people, like the people in our community, like the teachers that have to deal with our badass kids. There's so many fucking videos of children swinging on their teachers. It's ridiculous. And I know a lot of these people are my damn age. I'm 30 now. So a lot of these is y'all kids. I'm talking to y'all. Y'all kids is bad, and it's because y'all letting them listen to the shit that y'all listen to. Y'all letting them consume the negative bullshit that we listen to. And if we grow out of that, we have to make it, we have to show our children that we're grown out of that. When we constantly defend people like Kanye West, like R. Kelly, like Nicki Minaj, when they clearly show that they are either a detriment to the community at large or a detriment to themselves and their immediate surroundings, like their family members. Like if I was Northwest, I would be utterly embarrassed growing up and seeing the shit that my parents have done on the internet. I would be shocked and appalled. Like, what in the actual fuck? You said what? I'm going to be in a Hollywood brothel? What? I was at soccer practice, Dad. Wow. Like, we really give these people that we love too much. And it's only certain people, because when something happened with Tiffany Haddish, people didn't like Tiffany Haddish. So they were ready to say, yep, get her out of here. Glad, good. Oh, she did what? We hate pedophilia. So we even joking about it is not cool. I don't see the nuance in the comedy. I don't see the nuance in the sketch. I don't want Tiffany Haddish and Ari Spears made fun of fat people, and we're championing Lizzo right now. So that's another community, body positive community. Mm-hmm. Don't call a woman fat ever on the internet. Don't do it in life ever.
If you don't do it in life. Don't do it in a relationship.
Don't do it in life. If you know, if you
want to live, don't do that.
If you like and respect women, if you have a good relationship with your mother, don't call women fat. But yeah, like we were so ready to get people that we didn't like or didn't care for up out of here, like Ari Spears and Tiffany Haddish. But we hold on to people like Kanye West because goddamn, college dropout in these Red Octobers. We hold on to people like R. Kelly because did you hear the Chocolate Factory and TP3 Reloaded? We hold on to people like Nicki Minaj for some reason. I really don't know. She hasn't given me any bangers. Like Seeing Green was pretty lit, but I'm there for the Wheezy and the Drake.
See, well, people will hold on to Kanye West until it affects their money. Good example.
Oh yeah, the Jewish guy.
Yeah. Well, that, and I meant just black people. And the example I'm gonna give is Kanye West. You may know he had a sports agency, right?
I didn't know.
Yeah. This is gonna trip you out. Oh, you want to know who the president is?
Barack Obama.
No, that would make sense. No, the president of his sports agency they do NFL.
Barack Obama got a wicked jump shot.
The president of his sports agency is Antonio Brown. The football player, the one that walked off the field last year for Tampa Bay.
See, if he really wanted black man points, should have gave that job to Colin Kaepernick.
That would have been something right there. But he gave it to somebody who's just as crazy as he is. I use crazy again. Sparky got me. I'm using calling him crazy. Okay, fuck, he crazy. Both of them crazy.
Hey, look, sometimes the word or a nicer word escapes us.
Yeah. I'm not saying crazy in the mental aspect, what the mental world will call it. I'm just saying crazy. There's crazy people that ain't got to be in the mental institution.
That shit cray.
Yeah. But here's the other thing. Jaylen Brown of the Boston Celtics, All-Star. Aaron Donald of the Rams, the LA Rams. Yeah, LA Rams, champions last year. They both just left his sport. It's called Donda. Actually, that's the name of his sports agency. It's called Donda. They just left. Why did they leave? They say they left because they cannot stand behind the anti-Semitic statements he said.
And they're agents, they're lawyers, and everyone they do business with.
It was going to mess with their money, but they did it under the guise of, the anti-Semitism is what got us. Okay, so what about the George Floyd comment? What about the black slavery was a choice? What about the White Lives Matter t-shirt? None of that stuff got to you. But when it started affecting your bottom line, you try to put it under the guise of, it was just about anti-Semitism. So there was no sticking together then either.
Niggas is being bought and sold. Like, it's so crazy that, and Kanye West, like, even though the one area of where he is a genius is he said all of this. I love the song New Slaves. We are the new, his fans are the new slaves, the people that are adhering to that. And shit, just celebrities in entertainment at large. Like, again, for these black men to turn against this black man because it affects their pocket, they're separating themselves, they're detaching themselves from another black man because, well, the white people that are in charge of my business said
Mm-hmm.
it would, it wouldn't be good for my brand if it mixed with your brand because your brand is kind of, against their brand right now. But yeah, you're right. It's cool for us to be against ourselves because not only do we still buy it when we're against ourselves, other people want to see it. Other people want to see us against our, like, if all the black players left the NBA and the NFL, what the fuck is gonna happen? Like, no one's gonna watch that shit. It's gonna be very, like, if all the black musicians just left the music industry, but the thing is, we're coming from as black people, and no one else can attest to this like we can because every other group of people that came to this country came here by choice. Nobody was brought here against their will. And then when they came here, they weren't forced and held into economic and environmentally hazardous areas and pitted against each other. Like they weren't literally plotted against the way our community was from the moment that we were captured, the moment that we were cultivated, and for the subsequent time that we were here, and then the subsequent years after our release. Like, there has been multiple campaigns and behind the scenes, and sometimes just right blatantly in our face, activities put in place to hinder the progression of black people. They don't do that to Jewish people. They didn't put anything in place to stop Jewish people from winning. They didn't put anything in place to stop Hispanic people from winning. Yeah, they call them they smear everybody has smear propaganda. We have minstrel shows. Everybody has the sleepy Mexican, Sleepy Gonzalez, or whatever the fuck. Everyone has a racial caricature in this country. But again, like I say all the time, they don't see those other people as a threat. Those people willingly came to this country because they want to assimilate to American culture. Those people will do whatever because they feel like they're leaving a shithole country to come to the home of the free, the home of the brave. We as black people know that there's not shit free here. Like, we didn't come here free. And nothing is free, nothing has been free for us afterwards. So we only see value in money sometimes.
Let me jump on your point then and add to what you're saying. The other part of that is you got Italians, you got Asian people, you got Hispanics, Mexicans. When there's an atrocity committed in this country, you got their countries that will jump on the people here, and they will use their economic power to attack the United States. If, for example, 2020, 2021, when there were people just going out in the street and punching Chinese people in the face, kind of blaming them for COVID or whatever.
The Kung flu.
Yeah. They over there said, you better do something.
Stop it.
Or we're going to tax you because we make a lot of your products, right?
Everything is made in China.
Right. Now, when's the last time you ever heard of Africa help us out when they seen an injustice done over here? When did you hear from Africa when George Floyd was killed?
Nope.
And
I think that's the biggest problem we have.
Exactly.
And I think that's our biggest, because again, those Asian people, like those Asian celebrities, even though they're probably second or third generations that didn't even grow up in their home country, they know that their mother is from there, their grandmother is from there. They have family members there that they can go see and they'll be welcome. They know that they can go back to, like, Jackie Chan knows he can go back to motherfucking Beijing and they go, oh, Jackie, we love you. Oh my God, we love you. Like, we're canceled for that. But like, actors, and Arnold Schwarzenegger can go back to Austria. He can go back to his home country and not be there for years. He can be an American celebrity, but still go back to his home country and be treated like the shit. We as black people, we're black. We're not African. Like, we've never had that connection to Africa, and Africa has never had that connection to us. So I feel like we as black people have a fear. because we know that we don't have that bargain, or we don't have that bargaining chip of just going back to our country because we don't know shit about it. We don't think they like us. We don't really like them. You know what I'm saying? We've seen images of Africa being a third world country, being a shithole place like that. We don't know anything about where we come from. So it's kind of like a rock in a hard place. You know what I'm saying? Like those people have communities. Like there's people in China that will never come to America, but they support the Chinese people that are in America that they see on the screen. And if they see those Chinese people on the screen say, hey, there's something happening in the country that we're in, and it's happening to our people, and it's fucked up, they're gonna ride with them. You're right. Africa's not gonna do that for us. Africans don't like us. Honestly, Africans have been trying to scam us for the better part of a few months. A few of their kings have died on some real shit. A few of their kings have died, and they've been reaching out to Black people like myself who are deep into, you know, spirituality and African spirituality and African culture, and saying, hey, you're actually the son of our slain king, and all we need for you to do is pay for your classes so we can teach you how to be a prince. Because they don't like us. They think we're ignorant. They think we're arrogant. They don't like our luxuries. And I just think there's disconnect between, like, if you've seen Black Panther, there's this disconnect between African and African American.
Mm-hmm.
I wish there wasn't, because that's honestly what we would have to do. We would have to show that as Black people, we would have to show that we do not need these white people. We would have to show them that we not only have a whole other country that supports us, that we are a community, but we don't have a sense of community. We built a slight sense of community up, because we always get to this subject every time on this pod, but we built a slight sense of community up after we got out of slavery. But the trauma of, again, constant CIA cover-ups, the murder of Martin Luther King, the CIA literally paid members of the Nation of Islam to kill Malcolm X. They've had a history of infiltrating into our community, turning us against each other so that we can fall from within. Because one of my favorite lines from Captain America's Civil War is, an empire toppled by their enemies can rebuild, but an empire toppled from within is destroyed.
Mm. Let me also tell you how big the influence from another country is. How long did it take for them to pass that anti-lynching bill which was billed the Emmett Till lynching bill? And it went through Congress hundreds of times. On the other side, how long?
They put lynchings on postcards.
Right. How long did it take them to pass the hate crime bill once the Chinese were attacked?
Quick as shit.
Quick, because they had support behind that.
Because there's value in China also.
Yeah.
And America does business with China. America robs from Africa, because Africa is very
China
rich.
robs from
Africa is very rich. Africa is filled with resources. The cobalt the cobalt that is used for the batteries in our cell phones, that's found in Africa. Damn near literal vibranium is found solely in Africa for items that damn near every person on the planet has. But they would like for us to believe that Africa is a poor nation. They would like for us to believe that Africa is dirty, that Africa is impoverished, so they can steal from it, so that we won't feel bad for it, so that we won't pay attention to it, so we won't notice that they're robbing it and bleeding it dry. Meanwhile, yeah, they do business. Shit, we have had so many problems with the Russians, but I guarantee you, we are not going to stop buying AK-47s.
Why do you think nobody celebrated Queen Elizabeth passing away so much over here? Because she stole a lot from Africa during her tenure as queen.
Got blood diamonds all on your head and shit. She ain't my queen.
In
my
her
queen
head.
is
Oh,
Latifah. My queen is Latifah. Goddamn. I don't fuck with. I don't.
Let me play.
Yeah, like they passed that bill very quickly.
Yeah,
and they see value in these other countries because and it all really does boil down to race sometimes, because they don't do business with South America neither, because they look Mexican. They look them little Aztecs.
I won't even say race. It's just money. Money spoke to them. They didn't want them tariffs, them taxes. That's what spoke to them.
And worth, because again, these cobalt things and like these the things that we get from Africa, diamonds, there's an immense worth in those. Why do we not? Why does America not do business? Because we have companies like Zales and Tiffany's and whoever the fuck else sells diamonds, Jacob the jeweler, Paul Wall, baby. You know what I'm saying? Like we love diamonds. We love being iced out over here in America. So how come we don't have a better business relationship with Sierra Leone? How come these diamonds are covered in blood? Like, you know what I'm saying? Kanye, ironically enough, back to you again.
We
would rather take
with Kanye right quick. Show a couple of comments he said when he did the Noriega interview. If y'all haven't heard it.
I heard when he called.
Watch the George Floyd documentary that Candace Owens put up. One of the things that his two roommates said was, they want a tall guy like me. They want a tall guy like me. And the day when he died, he said a prayer for, 8 minutes. Mm-hmm. He said a prayer for 8 minutes. They hit him with the fentanyl. If you look, the guy's knee wasn't even on his neck like that. When he said mama is his girlfriend. They said he screamed for his mama. Mama was his girlfriend. It's in the documentary. But something that hit me, that fucked me up when I was watching the documentary, and it said, they want a tall guy like me. When I looked at that image of him, this tall black dude with the bald head, he reminded me of somebody else. Who do you think he reminded me of?
Virgil.
He reminded me of Virgil. You know what I'm saying? I'm not finna cry in front of y'all because that's how they get me, right?
Right.
But I know that we lost him. And I know that this white company, Louis Vuitton, is now making statues of him, like as a martyr. And we don't know why exactly. We say it's cancer.
But I mean, all right. I want to be careful with this subject because.
Wait a second, but tell me, could you even really run this interview? Because Mav didn't run my interview.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? They blocked me out. The Jewish media blocked me out. This shit lit, right? I'm lit, right? I'm lit.
Right.
I'm lit. You know what I'm saying? JP Morgan, I put $140 million into JP Morgan, and they treated me like shit. So if JP Morgan Chase is treating me like that, how they treating the rest of y'all?
That's outrageous,
Sure.
yeah.
And this murderers with Chase accounts.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. I am outraged. By the time people they want to calm it down.
Because no matter what, you didn't break no law.
I didn't break a law.
No matter
I didn't break a
the
law.
bank shouldn't be a judge or jury on anything that's
but
going
this
on.
is it's like a social contract. Candace Owens has a word for it, I'm forgetting. But it's basically like they told Candace Owens she couldn't hang out with me. You know, I'm here.
Oh, you muted, Brett. You muted.
Okay, sorry about that. Preezy, Sparky T, what y'all got to say about, the comments he said on that last video? You muted too.
Oh, everybody muted.
He definitely had his knee on homeboy neck.
Right.
And you know what I'm saying? Like, in that instance, that just seemed like the same thing when we was just kind of talking about with Charleston White, where you doing something for shock value. It's like the whole, you know what I'm saying? It's almost like you just said that just to be saying something against the masses, or just for it to be so far out to the left or to the right that it's going to get a response or get, you know what I'm saying? You know, you done said too much when Twitter didn't close your accounts, Instagram didn't shut you down, like social media didn't shut them down. Like, you up there with Trump.
His bank account.
You've been up there with Trump, bro.
Did you hear about that?
Yeah.
His bank shut him down.
I saw Kim Kardashian tweet, I do not stand with anyone who makes anti-Semitic. I was like, oh shit. Oh
Now,
shit.
when we're looking for her for substance and moral fiber, we know we're in trouble.
Like, you don't even fuck Jews.
Right.
He shouldn't have made that comment about the knee not being on that neck. You could clearly see that it was. I was very disappointed when he said that. I was very disappointed in him. I must have hurt the family a lot. It had to.
Yeah, they put
That
out
was
a whole
terrible.
cease and desist order to him.
I don't.
How would he have felt if somebody would have came out talking about his mama death?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? When she, when she died and everything with this plastic surgery, whatever. If somebody would have came out, well, that doctor didn't do nothing wrong, or just whatever, he would have been all in his feelings.
And his fan base would say, leave him alone, leave Kanye West
right,
alone.
and all
He's
of that.
like,
so he needs to have that same respect, though, and onus for other people. You know what I'm saying? If you wouldn't want somebody out there talking about your mama death, then he has a daughter. Stop talking about her father's death.
You know what Willie D is from the Ghetto Boys?
Word.
You hear what he said about oh man, Willie D speaks his mind, but he said he thinks Kanye West's mother killed herself because she knew she birthed a crazy man. Pretty much, I'm paraphrasing what he said.
Oh,
This
I
is
mean,
before,
I can see his.
This is before the couple of weeks of the stuff he just said. This is during the White Lives Matter T-shirt thing.
Oh,
That's
wow.
when he said that.
I mean,
I don't know what he got to say now.
Probably
know.
just that add a period to it, I guess. I mean, I don't know, because I mean, if you listen to the way Kanye West speaks about his mother's death, you could tell he probably kind of feels bad about it, because according to him, she was getting liposuction to have a better Hollywood appearance. That's why he got liposuction. And it's like, Kanye, again, and when I hear things like that, that's what's letting me know you're trying to line up with an image. You're trying to this is when you was with these Kardashian hoes. You out here getting plastic surgery. How many niggas just let us and we just sped by that. We just sped by the fact that he got liposuction, or that he got plastic surgery. Not many men do that. And let's be honest, not many rappers do that. But he was doing that to keep up appearances with his Kardashian wife, with the Kardashian family, because he was going to be on TV. Because but no one made you do that. You're afraid of this for your daughters, and again, it's like projecting, because you got sucked in by Hollywood. We can I feel bad for the fact that he feels bad about his mom passing, but that doesn't absolve you. We got to stop saying when his mom died that screwed him up, and it did. Yeah, but we got to stop giving him. We got to stop giving him the pass for that, because he literally gave George Floyd's daughter $2 million, or donated $2 million to her college fund when George Floyd died. So that leads me to believe that now the only reason you did that was, for brownie points with the black community. You know what I'm saying? Where it just goes to these insincere things, and just he's trying to bring up things and instances to rally the black community so that he could use us for his cause. He wants us to be mad at who was he talking about this time? Louis Vuitton, for using a statue of Virgil?
I think so.
It's your last conversation with Virgil, you put him and a whole bunch of other people in a group message and said, "I'm richer than all you motherfuckers." That was your last conversation with Virgil before he died. So you didn't have any positive things, and I just saw a headline that said Kanye West was jealous and spiteful over the fact that Virgil had a deal with Louis Vuitton, because guess who was calling themselves the Louis Vuitton Don for years? Kanye. But guess who got a deal with Louis Vuitton? Virgil. But now you want to make it seem like, look at what Louis Vuitton is doing. They're using an image of Virgil, a black, because that story he told about George Floyd didn't make any fucking sense. What did that have to do with anything? They want a tall black guy like me. You know who I thought of when I thought of a tall black guy? Virgil. Nigga, that could have been LeBron. LeBron is a tall black guy. Kobe is a tall black guy. He's going, RIP to the God. Like what? Like he really just tried to manipulate one thing so that it could be used for people to feel bad for him, and just so that he could use us against Louis Vuitton. Look at what Louis Vuitton is doing to this image of another black man. So help me, a black man, fight against Louis Vuitton, the white man. But Kanye, you want to work with Louis Vuitton still. I swear to God, if Louis Vuitton said, here's $1 billion, Kanye, create for us, you take it and you would tell us to wear Louis Vuitton.
That's why I think. That's why I think he weaponizes a lot of the stuff he does. I think it's virtue signaling. The time he was trying to help out George Floyd and a lot of these other companies, well, yeah, George Floyd, his family, when these other families came out here and act like they were helping out George Floyd or just black people in general, I think it was virtue signaling.
Just, again, publicity. But when we love people too much, we want to believe that the things they're doing is coming from the heart. We want to believe it. Like, again, if this was someone that we didn't like, we would immediately say that their reasoning for donating money was insincere. We would immediately say, oh, like if Tiffany Haddish donated money to a charity for children who had been victims of pedophilia and child molestation, we would say, she only doing this to get on our good side after. But we don't say that about people that we love too much. You know what I'm saying? Like when R. Kelly was on trial for molesting children, all he had to do was come out and drop a song about God, and we forgave him. Kanye West literally just copied he just copied the whole "He Saved Me" formula.
Mm-hmm. Well, that's where we're at, though. False idol worship is, I think, another form of religion, and whether he is right or whether he's wrong, I think people do worship celebrities and give them too many passes, just because of who they are, and not because of what they say. There's a lot of people that say that genius label. A lot of people gonna put the genius label on him just because of who he is. He could say, "I could spit in your face tomorrow," and people are like, "Well, he spit in my face because he know I was gonna be dehydrated."
You don't understand why he said he was gonna spit in your face. He's gonna spit in your face because your face it's dry with slavery. So he like that's the way they
Kanye's
do
spit is different.
like he's spitting different type of
It's
like they will
different.
literally go through mental gymnastics to make themselves feel like and believe that me and the Kanye are in the same mental wavelength. So I'm special. It's again, it's idol worship. It's the same thing we kind of do with Bible thumping. Well, I'm in church every day. I know everything in the Bible. Like it's the same way that we used to worship God and Jesus. We do that with our celebrities now. We want to walk in their image so bad.
I'm gonna wait and see what happens, though. Everybody say he got a plan. I'm gonna see what he does. They say he went from being a billionaire to now he's worth about $400 million. That's still a lot of money.
Which I'm not feeling bad for that.
Problem. I'm not gonna feel sorry for somebody that's making 9 figures more than I'm making. All 9 figures. I'm making $9 and he making 9 figures. I'm not gonna feel sorry for him at all. But at the same time, would Kanye feel good going below 9 figures? I don't think so. If Kanye came down to $9 million a year, y'all better put that dude on suicide watch. So I hope he does have a plan.
A workout plan.
Again, liposuction. He ain't working out.
That young thugger gave him.
Yeah, I heard about that too.
You know, he gonna take the he gonna take them 100 acres from Thug and do something.
But wouldn't that do his?
But now what I was saying too.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, I was gonna say that the thing with that though is Thug and them already in a racketeering case. You know how sometimes they get the following, the money, or this and this, that, like that. But you take these 100 acres, you know, and do whatever. Now you didn't put yourself in the crosshairs of what they got going on. You know what I'm saying? I don't, you know, everything that glitters ain't gold. So, I mean, I know it's 100 acres, but you could have went and bought your own 100 acres instead of, right. And he want to make sure when he get out of jail that he still got some of his stuff left. That he want to make sure he don't lose them 100 acres. That's why he went ahead and gave them to Kanye so that they ain't take them from him. But that's what I'm saying Kanye gonna be the guy
Young
that's
Thug is a
pulled into something.
genius.
Yeah, he thought he was a genius. He's still locked up.
He's still locked up.
Well, according to Charleston White, that's what he's supposed to be, though. He gonna come out a better man. You know what I'm saying?
He did try.
So,
Young Thug did try to shoot at Lil Wayne. I don't forgive him for that. I'm gonna be honest. Like Gunna, I don't know. Gunna can go free. Well, I'll say free Gunna because
then
I
Young
feel like
Thug
he
was
was.
also who was it? Lucci Y and that is that who it is? One of
I
them,
think
he
so.
be dragging them. You know, he be online, standing on the man's cars at his house, calling
Like
them
that
all
Thug
kinds
part
of
of his
punk
name is
this
for
and
real.
yeah, that's for real. He's one of them that's really about that life, and he just
And we
be all
champion
on that.
that. But when he gets arrested,
too
we're like,
much.
free Thug, free Thug. No, he actually committed these crimes. Remember, like we would, if that nigga was successful, we would be saying R.I.P. Lil Wayne. Like no, never. I don't even in a fire. No, if it came between me grabbing the Barter 6 or the Carter 2, it's gonna be the Carter 2 every time. Fuck out of here.
You know what? There's another difference between today's culture and the culture of yesterday or yesteryear is they always talked about, well, I won't say all of them, but there was a lot of rappers that talked about getting out of the hood, getting out of the poor section. And now they're celebrating like you a good person, you real if you stay there. Like Jay-Z ain't trying to stay in no hood. He'll tell you that.
That nigga live
He didn't say it in the beginning. He
Upper
did
New
that.
Jersey.
He was like, you saw me in the hood. You know, people say I'm not in the hood, but guess what? I was there last week. He was like that in the beginning of his career. Jeezy, that's another one. He'll tell you like, no, I'm gonna be here with my wife over here, and we're gonna move out the hood. Shoot, she gonna have me on her TV show. I'm gonna wear.
He really does own half of Atlanta. The thing is, he didn't put it all in his name so that you could just look it up and see it in his name, because he's also a former criminal, a former drug dealer, and he wasn't able to get, specific things.
But he was on real estate. Yeah,
but he found a way around it.
Yeah, because well, it's not illegal to sell real estate. It's illegal to sell drugs. So you constantly have to look over your shoulder and see whether you're going to get shot or go to prison. That's not the life you want to live. Usually you don't have a long lifespan when you do those kind of things. Sure, it's not quick money.
And you can only convince people of that if you can convince them that their lifespan past a certain point isn't worth anything.
Yeah.
That's where they get them.
The only problem with that is, though, people are going to see how he got the money and he had the capital for it. Then he could start doing those type of things instead of saying, okay, I got to go to college or I got to take real estate classes or whatever like that. And I have to slowly build myself up because everybody's not going to win the lottery in selling drugs or win the lottery and becoming a rapper or any kind of entertainer. Sometimes you got to work. Sometimes
we have these instances of where, like, because boom, a good example of an OG and someone that shouldn't even really be called an OG because nigga's probably like 5 or 6 years older than me. J. Cole sitting down with Lil Pump. J. Cole is a high school and college graduate. This is a man that is always about education. He's always about self-love. He's always about self-improvement. And he's half black and half white, but he is even more so than Kanye. This is a person that I honestly feel like loves himself as a black man and loves black people. Like, I love his documentaries where instead of him doing an interview where he talks about watching a documentary, J. Cole actually comes to the neighborhoods that he wants to affect and films the documentary. When Michael Brown was murdered by an officer, J. Cole went to Ferguson and shot a documentary. He sat there, he walked with the people, he talked with them. That's actually being a man of the people and trying to affect change in the community. And he doesn't do it in the guise of buy my shoes first or buy my album first. It's in the guise or not even in the guise. It's in the vein of how can I best be of service? Matter of fact, when George Floyd got murdered, he came back to Fayetteville. You might have been here.
Yeah.
He came back to Fayetteville to march with us. No cameras, no entourage with them, no group of people, mask on, very COVID friendly. Like he wasn't, and he looked like he literally looked like he had just woken up for the day to come out and show his support.
He always
And
looks good.
that's all it takes, because what people truly need is inspiration. What people need is to see their biggest stars be morally correct, be morally upright. But what the younger generation has done, and what media makes them feel like is cool, what they show in heavy rotation, is to make fun of people for being that smart. Make fun of people for caring. Because there's always a stigma in hip hop that artists like J. Cole are boring. That, oh, nobody wants to hear all of that. Go to school or treat your woman like a queen mess. Nobody wants, I can't dance to that. And it's like, you're not supposed to dance to it. Like, sometimes music is for other purposes other than to dance or to turn your brain off. Sometimes it's to turn your brain on, because when you turn your brain off, anything can get in there. So when you're hearing these lyrics about sell drugs, fuck niggas for money, treat people like shoot people up, like when your mind is off and that's what you're just unconsciously absorbing, you unknowingly like display that in your real life. But yeah, there's been a shift. We call artists that are talking about education and treating ourselves better, we call them boring. And artists that are talking about turning up, getting lit, doing drugs, having sex, that's what gets pushed. That's what we accept. We have to get to a point where we stop calling education boring. We have to get to a point where we enjoy bettering ourselves.
Hell, half the people that are out here doing the music that we're talking about, I wouldn't even put the label as artists on them. J. Cole, I give him the label artist. Even Jay-Z, even if you say his music is negative, he had an artistry to his music. They just have
So hopefully you won't have
anybody
to
in
go
the
through that.
background that just has a phone making music. Kodak Black. I mean, it's like anybody could do that. Tell me who could not sound the same as Kodak Black. He got something that appeals to people. I don't know what it is, but who cannot make the same type of lyrics that he does?
We can all do
Most
it.
of these people that make songs today, I'm like, when you look at a basketball player, you can't say just anybody off the street could be LeBron James. There's a lot of good street people that play ball and can do amazing stuff, but they ain't LeBron James. There's a lot of people that go become lawyers. You can't just be off the street and become a lawyer. You got to go through years of school to become one. You become a doctor, you got to go through years of school to become one. Even the manager of a store, you got to go through some experience and years of trials and tribulations to become a manager of a Family Dollar. You don't have to do anything besides have a recording kit become a hip hop artist today. And so we give these people with no talent all the likes in the world, all the streams in the world to become what a lot of people will call artists, and they will get awards for that. That was not the case 20 some odd years ago. I'm sure there was a couple of them out there. We had a guy that made Because I Got High. Okay, great. Anybody can make that song.
Because you couldn't put that on TV. You could, like, that's back when the entertainment industry still had to largely work with, the TV industry and theater. Yet now that we're living in we're fully deep up in the internet age, again, nobody is watching. Like, we don't have to go to CBS or Viacom Entertainment. You can literally, a person, like, it's talent agents and scouts and, just shiesty Jewish people in Hollywood that want to find someone to make money off of, someone to exploit. All they have to do is scroll down a social media feed and say, oh shit, y'all see this white girl that thinks she's a black girl? Let's give her $5 million. Y'all see this badass little girl on Dr. Phil? Let's give her a record contract.
Well, that's another reason too why there is a Charleston White, because of the oversaturation of the internet, where everybody can get on the internet and perform, but you got to stand out some way.
Because you can also underpay people for what they do. Like, you can underpay a social content creator. You can underpay a Bad Baby. You can underpay a Woe Vicky for an appearance or whatever the fuck. Because again, like, the music industry or the entertainment industry at large, I was just watching a documentary on that the other day, is inherently corrupt. The reason when you mention other communities like the Italian community, how they come to this country and they they get involved in crime as well. The difference is we call their crime organized. It's separated from the kind of crime we do, even though this, if you've ever seen the structure of a gang, it's kind of organized. Like remembering all the, you know what I'm saying? Remember the hierarchy of gangs and shit. That's kind of a little structured, but the mafia plays a large part in the music industry. Because you know what I'm saying? If you're a touring agent, you can't just come to a town like Yonkers or Brooklyn and think that, oh, so you're gonna play here without giving us a cut of your money. And that's how a lot of mobsters that wanted to legitimize their income found ways to do so. They would muscle their ways in the music industry, in the comic book industry back in the 40s when it was first popping off. Like, and the entertainment industry has just always accepted it because it's a necessary evil, because the one thing that rules the world is money. These mobsters, though they are participating in crime, they're bringing in the money that this record label needs to promote this artist. We can't travel if we don't have money or security, and they're going to protect us from the mobsters in the other state. Like there's so much. America is really a melting pot, but every melting pot I feel like needs a scapegoat for why it doesn't taste the way it should. And for the longest time, the scapegoat has usually been Black people. We attribute for the most. There's only 13% Black people in America, but they attribute for the most violence. That's something that Candace Owens said. That's something that motherfucking Kanye West has said, and Charleston White didn't say it in these exact words, but this is the rhetoric that all of them are putting out. That look at y'all niggas can't even behave. They all do sound like Uncle Ruckuses. It's all like they're telling us that we would be better off enslaved. We would be better off in jail. We would be better off, you know what I'm saying? Like just going with just hating ourselves.
All right, we're gonna wrap it up on that note. Now we're going to the last segment of the show, the deepest thought. I think a couple of y'all seen this video. This is where we come to where we don't really have a thought behind what the video says. We can laugh, we can cry, we can hate it. No, nobody's really going to debate anything about it, but just take a watch and have a thought amongst yourselves when you see this.
He's a good father. He is, you know, and he has the best intentions for you. His plans are to prosper you, bring you to an expected end, but your life does not. Oh my God. Oh my God. Bruh, we gonna keep this? Nigga, I can't even reach it, bro. This is beyond embarrassing. Wait a minute. Bruh.
Poor little tank. You muted. You muted. You muted. Big Red, you muted. Can't nobody hear? All right, so I'm gonna try to interpret. Okay, there.
I hate you when I do that. I wish it would come on just by my voice. All right. Yeah, that was her deepest thought. She took that in stride. She was cool with it. Kept the show going. Your show must go on. If that happens to any of us, it won't happen to me because you gotta worry about it. But if that happens to me, show must go on.
She was funny. She was funny.
She made her voice deeper.
Funny about it. Oh my God, she was good.
She hit the bro voice.
She was good. She was good. I don't think anybody said anything bad in the comments. They laughed. They was like, "You did good, sis. You did good." She's like, "Oh my God."
Oh
my God.
Because it's not like we don't know. It's nothing. Like it's.
Was that for real? Or was that just like a skit?
See, I wondered if it was a skit,
that was genuine.
or if it was staged.
That was for real.
I thought it could have been staged because it looked like the wig should have been pulled down a little bit more.
Snatch the wig or something. I don't know. I was wondering if it was staged too. But
yeah,
I saw a fuller video of that. So it was a podcast. It was a discussion between two people. And
even if it wasn't, that was funny. That was funny. Just her face expressions alone. She's like, "Oh my God."
Oh my God.
Oh, she was like,
Because people always ask, are we going to leave this in? You know, we leaving this in. It doesn't even matter what we was conversing about before. This is the viral moment.
God, I don't even.
Like this. Come on.
The guy slid off the chair. He
was like, yeah, we got it. Yeah.
That was classic. That was classic.
All right, y'all. We're gonna end it on that note. Like, thank everybody for coming in for some hostile therapy with me, Big Red, Prizzy, Lord Trent, and Sparky T. We will be back next Thursday, 7 p.m. for some more hostile therapy, not because you want it, but because you need it. Y'all have a good night.
Peace.
Peace.